Let's listen to it together and see what it's about.
David, Jimmy from Philly, I'm sick and fucking tired of listening to your bullshit about unhinged Trump supporters and this and that. You're so full. Hats off to you. You can't withstand it, David. You got my information, motherfucker. Fuck your cappuccino. Fuck your cappuccino. Fuck your cappuccino. Information. Fuck your cappuccino. You're so full of shit.
Flippy from Indiana. Flippy from Indiana, please unmute. You are on the air, my friend.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hey, David, it's me. I just was wondering if you've ever reconsidered making an OnlyFans.
Sorry, if I've done making an omelet, what?
No, making an OnlyFans. Earnings season is over, and it's time for you to show us your zucchini.
That's very clever. No, listen. I think I'd be more likely. I'd be more likely to show my Granny Smith apples than any Zooks. Floppy Dukes.
Flippy floppy.
Floppy Dukes. Floppy Dukes.
Flippy floppy.
5 1/4 inches.
In the name of Jesus from South America, they're coming here. They're coming here. They're coming here. They're coming here from Africa. Pika hata anda ato. I hear the sound of victory. Pika hata anda ato. I hear the sound of victory. I hear the sound of victory. I hear the sound of winning, winning, winning. Pika hata anda ato. Winning, winning, winning. Pika hata anda ato. Oh, the batarata ande eke eke maka.
If there is anything that needs to be satirized and remixed, it is Trump talking about massive dumps. And by the way, extra points, if you can sample Trump saying massive dumps and me talking about it in a song, please do it.
Dumps. Big massive dumps. Dumps. Big massive dumps. Dumps.
Dumps. Dumps. Dumps. Dumps. Dumps.
Dumps.
Dumps. Dumps. Dumps. Dumps. Dumps. Dumps. Dumps.
Dump. Big massive dumps. Dumps.
Dumps. Dumps.
Sure you just
Dumps.
won.
Dumps. Dumps. Dumps.
Dump. Big massive dumps.
Donald Trump insisted multiple times that it was massive dumps that led him to lose the election, which is just
on another level. On
They call them dumps. Dumps.
Dumps. Dumps.
Dumps. Sure you just
Dumps.
won.
Dumps.
Big
Dumps.
massive dumps. Big massive dumps. Dumps.
Dumps. Dumps.
Sure you just
Dumps.
won.
Dumps. Dumps. Dumps.
Dump. Big massive dump.
You turn the faucet on and
Beta girl! Beta male!
where the water rushes out to sea.
Beta!
People are flushing toilets 10 times, 15 times, as opposed to once. Quietly dripping.
Dumps.
Dumps. Dumps.
Sure you just
Dumps.
won.
Dumps. Dumps. Dumps.
Dump. Big massive dumps. Dumps.
Dumps. Dumps. Dumps. Dumps. Dumps. Dumps.
Dumps.
what is going on here? What is going on here? It's All right, welcome everybody. We have a big stream for you today. Mike Pillow is now speaking in Cullman, Alabama, where there are some Trumpists. They've strategically placed blacks for Trump in the spot where they always do. There are people who believe that Donald Trump will actually be reinstated at this rally, either secretly or overtly. I don't know, but it's all going to be happening today. Also, apparently they're expecting absolutely huge dumps of rain.
They call them dumps.
A big thunderstorms in the area. There's even a report, which we'll get to, that they had to stop metal detector usage because of thunderstorms in the area or something. I mean, so anyway, we're expecting large amounts of rain, and it will be extremely wet from the standpoint of water.
One of the wettest we've ever seen from the standpoint of water.
Exactly. And that is going to be all coming up today. This is live. This is a live stream. People asking about whether we're live. Yes, we're live. Do you think this is a rerun or something like that? Maybe it is, but okay. So let's just have a great stream. Okay, guys, I have a full agenda. YMeb just gifted 10 subscriptions on Twitch, and Small Fuzzy Moss, who provides many of these audio drops actually came from Small Fuzzy Moss. Re-upping on Twitch, and Margot Cabot is here with a sub. Just seeing a lot of great friends. Ragin' Tater, Cold Press Juice Box, kicking us off already at 14, which is just on another level. And just so many things to talk about. I will tell you right now, I have no unban requests, so we can just kind of put that aside. I don't know that we need to deal with that. Because I just have no unban requests. I do have 457 new voicemails, though, and maybe if we're lucky, we'll get to a few of them. Let's just listen to 30 seconds of Mike Pillow, just out of curiosity, but we have a very full plate today.
All of this stuff is getting revealed, and I'm telling you, we're going to get through. This is the greatest time in history to be alive, because I'll tell you what, when we get way out here and they pull this election down and all this stuff, and we get out to a place that's glorious, you're going to look back and you're going to say every single thing that had to happen just the way God intended it. And we will once again be one nation under God.
Blacks for Trump reacting strongly. You can see here, I don't understand whether they say, hey, send someone from the group with the shirt and we'll put them on stage. Or I don't know how it all happens. But as you can see, black folks dramatically overrepresented on the stage right now relative to their rate of support for President Donald Trump, also known to many as Prump.
Then he went, Donald Trump, yeah, Donald Trump.
Okay, so a lot's happening here. I do want to say thank you. People just dumping memberships in. Will Woodruff and Rosie have signed up. Jen here just gifted 5, and Mikey Gaming gifted 1. Calamid67 just signed up. Now I'm going to say this the way we say it in Argentina. El Pocho Diablo has grabbed a membership. That's another 9, putting us at 23. And yes, phone lines will open at 100 today. We've not done open phones for a while. Let's see. Oh, okay. People asking about what's going on with Jimmy from Philly appearing with me and Dr. K, Dr. Alok Kanoja, for an intervention. Dr. K has graciously agreed to do a session with Jimmy from Philly, so maybe we can figure out, how did he become an alcoholic? How did he become a racist? How did he become ignorant? I've not heard back from Jimmy from Philly. That's actually the delay now. So if people want to go, Jimmy from Philly has a YouTube channel. If people want to go to that channel and let him know, please respond to David Pacman, because they're trying to get you on. We're trying to do an intervention with Dr. K. So I think it would be absolutely fantastic. So anyway, please. We also now are able to do polls on YouTube Live. Let me see here. Create a poll. I'm going to do it. So let's try this if we can, guys. Hold on a second. I'm going to create a poll on YouTube. Moderators, please create one on Twitch so we can have the same poll going back to back. The poll is going to be, oh, I created a blank poll. Hold on. What's going on here? Maybe it's not as easy as the kids these days say. Okay, here we go. Here is going to be the poll question. Will Trump cut speech short due to thunderstorms tonight? Okay, yes, no, and then the third option is sir. All right, so I'm asking the community, please replicate this over on Twitch. Okay, and where's the poll? Oh, there it is. Most people think the answer is sir. All right, well, I don't know how much that tells us.
Sir, your wife is up in the air.
But we're monitoring that. Okay, so that poll is happening over on YouTube, but I would love if the moderators could help me replicate it over on the Twitch side. It doesn't seem like that's happening right now, but that's okay. That's okay. Thanks to Badness as well as D. Patterso and D. Hoop, Poopnico. Toil just gifted 5, already putting us at 32. Oh, wait a second. No. Yes, 32. And if you're just joining us, I don't know how many of you missed our 16th anniversary, but on Monday we had our 16th anniversary at the David Pakman Show, which is really an historic event. And we did a membership discount. The code is 16 for 16. You can imagine what the discount is. That's 16FOR16. And you can use that at joinpakman.com, which is fantastic. All right. So I would love if people have been thinking, maybe I'll sign up for one of those memberships one of these days. This one is borderline criminal and certainly immoral, which I know excites a lot of people. 16 for 16, 16FOR16. People already misspelling it. So we tested the poll. Let me look at a few super chats. People have been asking me to comment about the Hassan Destiny Piker II house situation. I do have thoughts on it, and I'll comment on that in a moment. Atari DC asking via super chat, pizza or meth, which is the cheaper debate tactic? I don't even know what that means. Pizza or meth? Jane Woman Power says, you look well rested and recharged. Yeah, I'm actually still jet lagged, and there's 2 different things going on as far as jet lag is concerned. I traveled, I was in the air.
Sir, your wife is up in the air.
And I flew over 6 time zones, and you can basically adjust 1 time zone a day. I've been back 4 days, so I'm still kind of off by 2 hours. But the other thing that's been going on is, because I've just been home, I had to jump right back into work and stuff. Basically, like, I got up at 4 a.m. on Wednesday. I just felt wide awake. It was like, I've never taken Adderall, but I said, this must be what people on Adderall feel like. It was 4 a.m. and I was just ping, because it felt like 10 a.m. to me. And then I went to bed early. So then I still got up at like 5 the next day. And 6 today. I was up at 6:15. So I think I'm hurting my readjustment by not getting back to my normal schedule. It's like I'm just yeah, okay. So anyway, that's what's been going on. My worst trade deal possibly of all time. Okay. Denver McCarthy says, David, would you eat dinner with wacky voicemail lady for 10 grand if your personal safety was guaranteed? Dessert would be non-optional. If they had flan, panna cotta, tiramisu, or chocolate babka for dessert, yes, I would do it. Okay? Those are basically that's the situation. I do want to say thank you to Jennifer Olds for signing up on my website just now. Brand new member. Also, Alexandru Deku has just signed up at joinpakman.com. And then first person using the anniversary discount code 16 for 16 tonight, Chase Maxwell has just signed up, putting us at a really strong 35 right out of the gate. Other super chats, Marjorie Taylor Packman says, imagine waking up to realize you've been in a coma or a comma for 6.5 years. Trump never ran. COVID never happened. Bernie just announced his 2016 campaign.
Yeah, good. Okay.
That would be something. Sir, when you departed Europe for the USA, did you have even the slightest feeling you were leaving sanity for insanity? Yes, especially since cases are down in Spain like 55% or something like that. I was going from cases up to cases down, which doesn't feel great. Here's the US, and as you can see, that's not a curve that you want. On the other hand, Spain, or España, as we say, with a beautifully reducing curve. It's not reductive, it's reducing. Diminishing. Yeah. So I did feel like I was doing exactly that. Matthew says Blacks for Trump rolling into the event straight from Central Casting. Yeah, I really don't know whether the Blacks for Trump thing is a whether it's whether it's essentially actors or what. I just have no idea. Are you bummed because you missed out on the OnlyFans cheddar? You would have made bank, bud. Yeah, exactly. SOS Cuba, former Trump voter, glad to have found the light. Glad to have you here. Are you doing this broadcast from prison? Yes, this is my jumpsuit color. Sir, F your espresso as well. Glad to join your group. Moved here to the Philippines 2 years ago. Appreciate you being able to D this show. John, U.S. Coast Guard, retired. Thank you, John. Did you see portions of the border wall were destroyed by monsoon rains? Yes, I did see that. Ironic. Came from Frankfurt on Wednesday, same feeling. I came from Frankfurt on Tuesday, yeah. I went to a great place in Frankfurt called Naive with 2 dots over the I. Beautiful pizza. I'm kind of baffled Mike Pillow has been able to keep the grift going. He's due to go broke and burn out at some point, right? I would think so. Let me say a big thank you to Zach Moriarty, who just signed up on my website with the coupon code 16 for 16. Also want to say thank you over on Twitch to Poke State, Andrew Dale. No, Andrew Dale did not sign up. Sorry. Green Sin, Poke State, Tatted Reaperus. Toil just gifted 5 subs. The Ryant Goat just signed up. Jalunit is a new member, putting us at 44. We could set a record today, guys. This is going crazy. All right, let me address the Hassan Destiny Piker the second thing. So listen, Hassan bought a $2.7 million house. I got a bunch of tweets, people going crazy. David, please comment on it. What do you really want me to say, guys? You know, I mean, it's like, listen, first and foremost, I think that it's a thing. So there's 2 sides to this, okay? There's Hassan's a socialist and he bought an expensive house. Let me address that first, okay? If you think taxes should be higher, but you're still paying the tax rate assigned to you, I don't think that's hypocritical. You sending in more tax money isn't policy, okay? And you could be saying, I think people in my tax bracket should pay more in taxes, but I'm not going to be the one guy just sending it in because that's not the way that policy works. And similarly, you know, Hassan talks about we should decommodify housing or whatever. I don't know exactly what his position is, but once when we spoke, he mentioned something like that. And he got an expensive house because he can afford it. Okay, so what's the big deal? He could still believe that him buying an expensive house doesn't change the progress towards decommodifying housing. And then lastly, you're sending him money, right? People are sending him money. If you know, I don't know how many people think, oh, Tom Cruise is in a movie. The movie seems really cool, but he has too much money. I'm not going to go and pay $17 to watch the movie at a theater. Well, that's not usually how people think. If the 2 hours of entertainment are worth $17, then you go to the movie. And I think it's similar. And then here's the other thing. Anybody who has, once you're at a certain level of audience on YouTube /podcast / Twitch, and that, include whoever you want in that, right? I mean, listen, we're almost at 1 billion views. I think just people make more money than many in the audience believe. And I don't know what to make of that. It's like, don't contribute. I don't know what else to say. So I don't really have too much to say about it. Most people, at a certain level of success, you buy a house and the house is more expensive than the average house. My only surprise, quite frankly, was that Hassan didn't buy it through a trust. And Legal Eagle responded to me by saying, well, in California, to buy it in a trust, you've got to put like 50% down. And it's all these, that may be true in California. I don't know. And if that's the case, I mean, listen, I'm very financially conservative. So like I live below my means and have an extremely high savings rate. It sounds like if that's not something Hassan was able to do, maybe this is a more expensive house than he should be buying, but that's a personal finance question. It's not a policy question or whatever else. But yeah, I mean, myself and many others, we I use a trust for real estate, both for privacy. And I'm like, how are all these articles being written? You know, the Dave Rubin house purchase, the Jimmy Dore house, now Hassan Destiny Piker. It's surprising to me that more people aren't availing themselves at that level, and do it through a trust. Do it through a trust. Okay, please. All right. What else do we have here? I want to say thanks to Stacy Mail for signing up with the coupon code 16 for 16. Catherine Killingsworth is a new member. Paige Foshi is a new member. And Esther Weatherly is a new member, putting us at 48. We did hit our 16th anniversary on Monday. We celebrated this with a discount code. If you've been thinking, I kind of like David, don't evaluate my financial situation. Okay, just if you think what I do is of some value to you, where you would pay $1.60 a month, then you have a coupon code available, right? This is the same thing as with Hassan. It's just, if this is worth $1.60 a month or 16 for the year, you can use our 16th anniversary code, 16 for 16 for 16, 16 FOR 16. And you can get a grossly discounted membership. I mean, just absolutely, it's pathetic actually how discounted it is. I shouldn't even be discounting it this much. I believe it could even be a violation of HIPAA to discount memberships to this degree. Okay, let's see. Let's go through a few different things that I have here actually. Just to get caught up. We are very close to 1 billion views on YouTube. We are at 900. This actually isn't updating in real time. I think we're at like 992. We have had a blockbuster couple of days where we've been doing 1 million views a day very strongly. And so we could be hitting that billion view mark sooner than you might imagine. That's number one. Number two. Number two. I put together a drink today that is espresso with seltzer. All right, check this out. Espresso over ice, and then seltzer. Okay. Excellent drink. Highly, highly recommend it. I did get a couple messages from baristas. Or baristas, as I call them. And they said, pour the espresso in at the end, because then it'll be extra sort of foamy. Quite good. Okay, so that's that. What else do we have? Oh, that's why I had this. So I posted this picture during my trip, and a viewer of ours remixed it like this. Wait a second. That's pretty well done, I have to tell you. Let me get one more look at it. I like that. I don't even know how that's done. Like, it's completely foreign to me how that's even done. Okay, so we got that. Let me make sure we're keeping up with everything. I do have other things for you guys. Whoa, a bunch of memberships coming in. Kate Hodges just signed up using the 16th anniversary code. Heather Murray just signed up. Zach Zeitlin just signed up. Alexander Tatro, as well as Jordan McCormick, all taking advantage of the explosive coupon code 16 for 16. Also, thanks to Akira Loves Ryuji, as well as Data Music, Alice Maravillas, or as we say in Argentina, Maravillas, Marvels. Gordon Z. Hall has signed up on Twitch. Jules is Cools is a new member. Shot X Thomas. Jen here just resubscribed. Green Sin is a new member. So that puts us 8. That's already putting us at 61. And then also on the website, Micah the Pica signing up, and new member number 62. Really, really appreciate it. Let's continue with some of my other material here. Here is an interview. I love this guy, Donnie O'Sullivan. I believe he's Irish. People can correct me if I'm wrong. he just does great interviews with Trump supporters. And part of this, I don't know what it is, but the boom mic with the huge puffer on it, on the boom. I mean, it visually, this is also visually, it's extremely well done. Extremely, extremely well done.
You know, there's parts of the country now where you can't go into restaurants, bars, unless you're vaccinated.
I don't need the restaurants and the bars. Hell, I don't drink. I don't need to go to a restaurant. I go shoot my dinner.
Yeah.
Just saying. I mean,
this guy seems fun, huh?
There's millions of guns here. And you know, it took 11 days for them to take over Afghanistan. Wonder how many days. Just ask for a friend how many days it take the Patriots to take over this country. Think about it.
You don't want that to happen here,
I don't want it to happen, but if our country and our government and our Congress and Biden and them don't get their heads out of their butt, it's going to happen. I assure you. It's coming.
Okay.
I'm not vaccinated, and I'm not going to get vaccinated. Our days are numbered. It don't matter whether it's COVID or I get in that truck and go down the highway and get hit by a semi or T-bone and killed. It don't matter.
T-bone.
You know, life is what it is. You know, we take it how God gives it to us.
But you wear a seatbelt, right?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Oh, that is good. Of course. Yeah. I mean, I'm not crazy. I'm going to do something I'm going to reduce my risk, obviously. I mean, he's not insane.
50-50 chance that'll save you or it won't save you.
Sort of like a vaccine, right?
That's sort of like taking a vaccine. You take the steps to protect yourself when you can.
No, it's nothing like seatbelts and vaccines. There's nothing similar. I mean, okay, both are measures which statistically are likely to reduce harm, although they are not guaranteed to work, and they're available, and you've sort of got to be an idiot to go out of your way to avoid them, but they're not really similar in any other way. So that's that. Here's a quick Rudy Giuliani clip. Rudy says that impeaching Biden would be logical and something about being unfit for office. Here's Rudy. Rudy looking gaunt, by the way.
The grounds for impeachment are one of the most basic that Hamilton lays out in the Federalist Papers, and that is when he is acting in violation of his constitutional responsibilities, in this case, to protect us and to make certain that...
What's Rudy even talking about?
We have peace and prosperity. He's acting in violation of his duties to save American citizens. And finally, it really, I think, is a better case for 25th Amendment.
Better.
But I would pursue an investigation of both. I'd begin an investigation of whether there's grounds for impeachment. Remember, you got to do that first. And second, I'd begin an investigation of whether there's grounds to remove him for unfit for office. All
right. So there's Rudy's opinion. Here is Owen Schroyer. Now, hopefully, you have forgotten completely about InfoWars and Alex Jones. A friend of the show, Ethan Klein from H3H3 Productions, posted this. Owen Schroyer, he now is going to be surrendering to authorities apparently on Monday. He is being charged multiple counts for his alleged involvement in the January 6th Trump riots. Here is Owen Schroyer explaining this during Alex Jones' InfoWars.
The deal, ladies and gentlemen, a couple hours ago, I was informed by my attorney
that
there is a warrant out for my arrest. With allegations involving January 6th.
Right.
And I will have to
It's getting very real, very quick, guys. Very real, very quick for him.
Turn myself in Monday morning.
Right.
There's a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Some I have answers to, some I don't. I'm not going to be getting into more of this today on the air.
Really shouldn't even be on the air, right?
And I plan on declaring innocence of these charges.
He's going to be declaring innocence. Don't you plead innocence?
Because I am. And so there's some other stuff going on too. But that's the deal. And so I'm not gonna comment any further on this. I'm not gonna take any questions on this today.
Do they even take questions? Like, I don't know. I'm not super familiar with InfoWars, but it's funny to talk about. He's acting like everybody's going to be asking him to comment on the show. Do they even take? Who would even possibly ask him? It's weird.
But again, I was informed by my lawyer that there's a warrant out for my arrest right now and that I have to turn myself in by Monday morning. So that's just that. Probably shouldn't even be on air right now.
There you go. Okay, so he gets to the same conclusion I got to, which is you really shouldn't be on the air. We're keeping an eye on the Trump rally. Trump's scheduled to speak any moment now. So we're keeping a very, very close eye on that. Let's continue. Here is, I guess this is just ominous. Having weather issues at the rally. Yeah.
One of the wettest we've ever seen from the standpoint of water.
Then we have, here's a complete lunatic being interviewed before the thing today. This is just crazy. Check this out. Listen carefully.
What do you hope he's coming back before? He's already here. He never left. He's the 19th president of the republic. Trump, you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
You're talking about that other whatever.
Yeah. Is there anything specific you want him to address tonight?
Yes, I would like him to explain what he meant when he said his wife referred to him as sir.
I want him to address when he's going to come forth and say, I am, so that everybody will wake up and we can get this country back. The constitutional republic of 1776.
These people are so deluded. It's really crazy.
That's what and it will happen soon because God is in this and God wins.
God.
Powerful statement. In the meantime, anti-vaxxers who don't trust the vaccine are getting a dewormer meant for horses and taking it, and they're ending up calling poison control. Yeah, I don't know that I need to say too much about it other than the bullet points here. The Food and Drug Administration has not approved ivermectin as a COVID-19 treatment. That's important. Livestock or animal formulations of ivermectin are highly toxic in humans. Okay. Ivermectin may cause symptoms such as rashes, vomiting, and abdominal pain. Okay. So don't do it, folks. Don't do it. It is meant for horses. It is meant for cows. It is meant for steer and heifers. It's for animals. It's a veterinary element. Okay. And yeah, don't do it. Just don't do it. I mean, listen, if you believed you had horseworms in you, then maybe there's an application for it. I think it's a parasitic, but it's for animals, right? And so, like, if you're a horse, then you take the ivermectin. Okay, good. We figured it out. Oh man, we've got some crazy stuff going on here. Hold on a second. Did 25 people just get memberships here? This is insane. Jacob Giganti just signed up on my website. That's number 1. James Miller, number 2. This is actually nuts. Michael Jeremy, number 3. Michael Laurie, number 4. Andrew Ginty is number 5. Beth Franzak is number 6 on my website. Lenny McCabe, thank you for the membership, number 7. Mark Garwatoski is number 8. Michelle Plunkett is number 9. Ian Spider, I like that name. Ian Spider is number 10. Michael Cloyne is number 11. Thanks to Ali Prugar, number 12. Kevin Vicente is number 13. Jeannie Ryder, new member number 14. Angelina Wright is number 15. Quinn P.Y. is number 16. David Cordova, new member number 17. Micah the Pica getting another membership, number 18. Brett Vanderveen is 19. Stephen Maud is number 20. And Malin Miller is number 21, putting us at 83. Also, let me just do something extra. Someone who signed up under the name Dummy Email just pledged $100 a month on Patreon. Today, Patreon counts double. Okay, so instead of putting us at 84, it actually puts us at 85. Why not? It's a Pac-Man miracle. I also want to thank folks over on Twitch, including Diems, who just signed up. Crystal Drama Free is a new member. Toil just gifted 5 subs. Irie gifted 1. Manny just resubbed. Irie gifted another. And Hedgehog has just subscribed, putting us at 92. Wow. And Trump's not even out yet. Let's just listen to the sights and sounds of Cullman, Alabama, a cultural hub globally.
Rudderless people like Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer. This Democrat trio doesn't want to make America great again. They want to make America like Venezuela or like Cuba.
Venezuela. I'm pretty sure that Geronimo Venezuela was my babysitter growing up. Venezuela. That's interesting.
Spend your tax dollars.
What's this guy's first language, right? Venezuela. That's not even an accent.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid that they want to fundamentally change the way that we know the United States of America as we know it today.
Is he talking about the relief pitcher, Fernando Valenzuela? Remember, what was he? Was he known as El Guapo? What was his nickname? Do people remember that? You guys remember him?
We can send a message that in 2022, that we can send the Socialist Democrats and kick them out of Washington. And you know what? Then we can make America great again. We will take on communist China under our Buy American plan.
Like, I'm not making fun of Southern accents, but this guy, does this guy speak normal English? Because this seems beyond an accent. He just seems to not know comments. I mean, it's bizarre.
And manufacturers will be...
Manufacturers?
We cannot rely on any other nation, and especially China, to make sure that we rely on our day-to-day products. We will grow, not shrink, our United States military. We don't need any more woke seminars for our military. What I want to...
Yeah, maybe he's got Novocaine. That's a possibility. I do want to say a big thank you to Joseph Hill, Dimitrios Paterakis, and Morgan Summerfield, all of whom just signed up on my website. If you're just joining us, we had an incredible event on Monday. It was called our 16th anniversary. And so we do have a great membership special available to you. The code is 16 for 16. We do an extra show every single day. People say, sir, why even sign up? What's the point of signing up? Well, first of all, I'm helping Hassan pay for his house. So I do need people to sign up so I can do that. But also we do an extra show every single day called the bonus show just for our paid subscribers. And no better time than when we have a milestone like our 16th anniversary. It's just amazing. All right. Do people want me to go back to Super Chat, or do we want to delve into the 457 new voicemails that I have? What do people think? What would people prefer? I mean, I'll do both, but voicemails. All right, let's do a couple. Now, you know what? Let me do a couple Super Chats because I've fallen so far behind. I can't even believe how far behind I am here. David, hope you had a lovely holiday. Where in Spain did you go on holiday? I have family from Galicia. I was in Galicia, exclusively in Galicia. And then I had one night in Frankfurt. Who will run against Trump in the Republican Party? Too early to say. 2.7 million doesn't even get you that much house in most markets these days. No, that's not true. In most markets, 2.7 million gets you a great house. You know, there's some markets where it gets you what in much of the country is a normal house. You know, Los Angeles, Boston, New York, Washington, San Francisco. But no, in most of the country, 2.7 million gets you a pick of houses. Hello from Connecticut, second-year college student headed back to Yukon Tuesday. Hopefully this rain will keep the Trumpers inside when he isn't reinstated. Yes. Can you speak to when you think Matt Gaetz will be indicted? No, as I've said before, I have absolutely no idea. No idea whatsoever. Sir, do you think Trump will run for president in 24 in an orange jumpsuit? I would love to see it. How did the crowd react when Trump got reinstated? Well, it hasn't happened yet. It hasn't happened yet. Former Bernie voter, now Trump supporter. Your commentary is half of what pushed me over, David. Watched you since 2011. You've gone corporate. You, sir, are an idiot. Even if it were true that I went corporate, which I would challenge you to define, why that would make you say, I'm going to vote for Trump instead of Bernie, it's absolute idiocy. So for your sake, I hope you're trolling because it's completely idiotic. Like not liking this show means you switch from Bernie to Trump. Just stop watching this show, but support Bernie. It's bizarre. It's giga cringe. I feel bad for you. I hope it's a troll. We know you lie about your height, but what is your waist and foot size? If I were a betting man, I'd wager 28-inch waist and a size 8 foot. No, sir, you're very wrong. I am a 30-inch waist and I wear a size 10 shoe. Yeah. Thanks for letting me join. Have you ever interviewed Mick West? No, but I am reading the book Scale by Jeffrey West. Just started the book. It has nothing to do with what you're asking about, but let me say a few more thank yous. Chris Paxman has just signed up with the coupon code MyHIPAA. Van Helsing Boombox is a new member on my website. Jason Frazier is a new member. Sheila Hadel is a new member. Melinda Simpson has just signed up. So has Patricia Language. Is that a real last name, Language? I've never heard of that as a last name. I like it. Welcome to Sherry Lynn Nicholas as a new member. Also, Ian Rawlings has just signed up, and so has Chris Geiler. Chris Geiler, brand new member, putting us at 103. Also, thanks to the One True Fester for the Twitch sub. Also, Chef Ramsey and a folding chair have signed up via Twitch, putting us at 106. We're standing by for Donald Trump, now 12 minutes late. A couple more super chats. Should lefties be doing more to show how bad Larry Elder is? How do you decide when and how often to destroy someone with facts and logic? I mean, does Larry Elder even really have a shot in California? It didn't seem like he did. Hello, David. Congratulations on your 1 billion views. Hey, that's weird. I've never seen this before. It's like a super chat. Is it that now when you resubscribe as a YouTube member, you can send a super chat? That I've never seen this before. Anybody know? It's interesting nonetheless. Sean says, would you call yourself a manlet? I don't even know what that means. David, would you please say huge? Do you plan on a Pac-Man Blitz Arena 2021? Yeah, we may do another chess tournament. It's pronounced Doni. Love your show, sir. Thank you. David, nobody in right-wing media is covering this, and they are propaganda, so why are you? This is how he won. The more you obsess about him, the more the right loves him. Greed? No. Just no. That's you're completely wrong on all fronts. David, sir, do you have any book recommendations? I'm interested in reading something tech-related. Thanks for all you do, my friend. Tech-related? I don't read a lot of tech stuff. Like I said, I'm reading Scale by Jeffrey West. It's very good. You might find the book about Elizabeth Holmes' company, Theranos, Bad Blood by John Carreyrou. That's a great, it's sort of tech. Yeah. Not sure. If GOP take back the House, do they impeach Biden? Don't know. Won't go anywhere. Marjorie Taylor Packman says, declaring innocence from the standpoint of guilty. If the GOP were successful in enacting the 25th Amendment, they would then start taking credit for putting the first black woman into the White House. Yeah, that would be weird. They didn't allow umbrellas at the rally. Yeah, apparently not. Hurricane Katrina is about to strike Alabama. I've been watching this for almost 7 hours now, certainly 6, many highlights. Dude in the wall suit was funny. These people are nuts. Stick at it, DP. Thank you. Fun fact, a form of ivermectin has been found to be cut into cocaine. So I've been told anyway, cough, cough. Yeah, very, very well said. People asking when Trump speaks 15 minutes ago. It's we just never know. It's never clear how long it'll be. I'm hoping that the rain keeps his speech extremely short. That would be fantastic. Montanamica the Pica has just signed up via Twitch. I really appreciate that. Your new member number 107 today. We're going to get to some voicemails now. I do want to say thank you to Taylor Levensheimer, who just signed up on my website with the 16th anniversary coupon code 16 for 16. Appreciate that very much. All right, let's dive into the voicemails. I am going voicemail by voicemail, my friends. Okay, here we go.
David, I'd like to admit that I was wrong. Jesse Dollemore and Farron Cousins weren't a total disaster. They were all right. I'm still not a fan of Ring of Fire's channel, though, but it's all right. He did a decent job. But I didn't watch the Jesse Dollemore bonus shows because I started watching the first one, and it was so cringe I couldn't get through it. But other than that, it was all right. Also, congrats on your upcoming billion views milestone. Love you, David.
All right. Thank you. Let's continue.
Hey, David, I like the idea of kind of crank calling or even just sneaking your name in, you know, with like news channels. But just sneaking in David Pakman, billion views, lacks pizzazz. You need to come up with a catchphrase like Baba Booey. People that have never spent, you know, a minute.
Okay, all right. I think I understand.
Hey, David. It's Emily from DC. I just wanted to, per your last video, about mentioning your show on other YouTubers, I just wanted to play this for you.
Now, there was no press allowed, but that video was recorded by someone in the audience who then sent it to David Pakman, and he shared it online. And I guess I can kind of understand why they didn't want press there. They wanted to provide a forum for Marjorie Taylor Greene to spew her incredibly irresponsible and dangerous
So I just wanted to share that. It's pretty cool.
Cool. All right. Yep. That's pretty good.
Hi, David. I was just looking at your piece on Republican hypocrisy. And, you know, it really, hypocrisy is just a specific type of dishonesty. And really what you're talking about is a character flaw.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, David. B-Dog here. I'm reading an article on Vice saying that Mike Pillow is harboring Tina Peters, who is being investigated by the FBI in a safe house. Dog. If true, will Mike Pillow be prosecuted for this?
All right. Thanks, Dog. Appreciate that. Some of these are not exactly like great content, I guess I would say. Let's see.
Hey, my question is, why
here's Troy York calling with insane background noise.
Why don't you have Donald Trump on your show? Since you're such a gutless coward who attacks the man every day, you attack Republicans all the time. You never have Ron DeSantis or Jim Jordan or the other people.
Ron DeSantis and Jim Jordan are welcome here absolutely anytime.
Hi, this is Corey from Allendale, Alabama.
It's not Corey from Allendale. It's really Troy York again.
David Pakman, I'm going to be at the Trump rally tomorrow, or I guess today. I'm very excited.
I guess today. He called it 4:31 in the morning.
I'm going to catch the former presidents, who should be current presidents, but because we had the election rigged and stolen, he was on the Rick and Bubba show.
Never heard of it. Okay, Troy's media diet is certainly interesting, but I've never heard of any of the shows that he's watching. Let's continue.
So, I don't know if you want to put this on the air or not, but I just
it's a little late.
It's like a really weird story. Sometimes I get like cosmetics and stuff from Jewish people. They have like stands all around, like kiosks and malls and stuff like that.
Are you talking about like the Dead Sea products or what?
They're, like amazing skincare regimens. So I go and I'm with my daughter and I go to one of the stands.
This is a mom? Oh my God.
And it's like a Jewish kid from Israel, I think.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're moving on. Continuing here.
Hey, welcome back, David. Hey, your co-hosts or those people filling in for you were horrible. The Democrat Party is the party of the Taliban. The Taliban are always in power and control through the Democrat Deep State Political Action Committee that is actually funded by Saudi Arabia and allied with promoting Islamic radical fundamentalism. The Taliban are in control only because of Joe Biden and the Democrat Party, who seeks to empower the Muslim radicals.
All right. Then the Chicago guy called in.
You know, I was thinking, Sir DP, about that one guy who talked really slow, and he was commenting that you didn't pay a whole lot of attention about what else could have been done, and I thought on it on hours and hours, and you're right. I mean, Trump somehow would have done it worse. I think we can all agree on that. But I can't stop thinking about what I would, if I was in that situation without like a weapon, especially.
Man, I don't even know what he's talking about. Here's another one.
Yes, you admitted the obvious. I think it was a Republican who got us into this 20-year war. Just probably like a Republican. I think Eisenhower. I don't know. I think who got us into Vietnam.
All right. Here's Eric from Mass, who always has some very specific criticism that it's often doesn't apply to me.
Hey, David, it's Eric, Massachusetts. I'm just wondering how you reconcile your racism with the fact that
My
you agree
racism.
with businesses being able to deny service to anyone who doesn't have a vaccine when you know damn well, or you're acting like you don't, 72% of the black community is not vaccinated. And you know that. I mean, you know that. So I'm just curious as to why and how you don't see that as racist or as a second coming of segregation.
Very, very painfully dumb voicemail, unfortunately. Yeah.
Welcome back from your vacation. I hope it was restful and hope you're recharged and ready to deal with the nonsense that is the Republican Party and conservatives in general. I agree with you 110% on what you just said, listing all the reasons why Republicans are hypocrites and that why they lack any moral authority to preach to anybody or to criticize anything about anything that anybody does other than themselves.
Beautiful.
And in fact, I often point out all these things to Republicans time and again.
Love it. This guy called right back.
Oh, by the way, you just showed that video of Abbott clapping his hands, singing that stupid-ass Texas song, deep in the heart of Texas. Yeah, I left a message, actually 2 separate messages, 2 separate days on his machine.
All right, well, that's different. I don't need a report about that. Let's see what's going on at the event. It looks like now they've brought kids on. I believe bringing a kid to this counts as child abuse.
Thank you.
Oh, is that this guy's kid? I thought that kid was just in the audience. That's funny. Oh, but there are some kids in the background, right? Let's see what's happening here. By the way, this right side broadcasting, people are dumping $100 super chats left and right. It's crazy. I mean, no wonder the right is so well funded. Are you guys seeing this? It's insane.
Hello, Cullman County.
Oh, no.
We got the best 2 things coming. We got football coming right around the corner, and we got Donald Trump right back here.
Yeah. All right, so it seems Trump will be speaking soon. I do want to say thanks to Book Loving Mom for re-upping the Twitch Prime sub for the 2nd month. Remember, Twitch Prime subs do not automatically recur. You do have to do it manually. I also want to say thank you to My Aziz Dragon for gifting 5 subs. Menzies has also signed up. That is something else, huh? That is 6, putting us at 115. It was our 16th anniversary on Monday. We have a code for that. And I want to thank people who have been using it. Linda Lightcap just signed up on my website with the code 16 for 16. Brian LC is a new member, paid full price. Kyle McLawhorn is a new member. Lori Why Not has signed up. Ruth Kaufman is a new member. And Michael Vaughn has signed up, putting us at 121. Very much appreciate that. Let's look at a few more super chats here. It's the David Pakman Show. It's my favorite show. You do more good than you know. The David Pakman Show. Yeah, let me see if I can find some of those songs. Where do I have these? Is it in my memes folder? No. Is it in media? No. Is it in... Where would it be? Where would I have those? Songs. Ah, here we go. Oh, nope, that's not it. Where are those? Documents, no. Archive? I'm sorry, I'm not able to find it. Could have sworn I had a folder for it. Clips, hold on. Remixes. Oh, here it is, here it is. Which one of these was it? It might have been this one. Let's see. Yeah, this is it. Oh, this brings back memories.
The David Pakman Show. It's my favorite show. You do more good than you know.
Yeah.
More good than you know.
Love it.
The David Pakman Show. It's my favorite show. The David Pakman Show.
This one's great.
The David Pakman Show.
Oh, man. Okay, all right. People get, I think you guys get it. You get the reference. Good. Does anyone know who's speaking right now? No. Anybody know who this guy is?
In front of him. But he fought hard for all of us. And thank God he was up there for 4 years. Now, I'm not going to go through all of the things that he did. You don't want to hear me. You want to hear Donald Trump. You came here tonight to hear Donald J. Trump.
Yeah.
So I just want to let you know that thanks for coming out here tonight.
Right. John says, sir, apparently you just experienced a big membership dump. Congratulations.
They call them dumps.
Yep. Take dewormer, but not the vaccine. It's not approved. Yeah, I actually tweeted about that yesterday. Where is my Twitter? Here it is. Where was it here? Let's see. Yeah, here it is. The vaccine is not approved by the FDA, so it's dangerous and unnecessary anyway because we have the monoclonal antibody treatment, which is also not approved by the FDA. Oh, yeah, you were talking about the dewormer, but same gist. Same gist applies for sure. No, oh, I just lost that. Hold on. Take Discord calls. Where did it go? No, it's really Alabama. I was born and raised here. I just got a promotion, so this is for you, sir. Thank you. Taking Discord calls? Yes, taking calls later. Last time I asked about raising a child in Argentina. At the end, you said you'd need to ask yourself if it's the right thing. Can you give us a 3-minute download on the challenges of Argentina? I mean, basically just complete developing nation situation outside of Buenos Aires and a handful of other major cities. Completely bonkers hyperinflation. You know, I mean, it's all the things you would all the things you would assume, I think. Sir, Finkel is Einhorn and Einhorn is Finkel. Laces out. Yes, a reference to Ace Ventura. So what are we actually going to see here? I don't know. Will someone with Trump backing will run for president in his standing? It's possible. Not a troll. I legitimately think your commentary is ridiculous. Enjoy the money, you corporate shill. Thanks. I appreciate that. I second you getting an interview with Mick West. His UFO work is pretty bad and dishonest. His QAnon work is brilliant. David, we regret to inform you have been removed from the BD Boys. We're sorry for the inconvenience. David, Sir Larry Elder has a disturbing chance of winning. Vote no on recall. Sorry, I wasn't clear. It's pronounced Donnie O'Sullivan, not Donnie. Oh, I see. Okay. I want to say thanks to Kay Gouldy, as well as Galacticat and Harry Proper, Dirty Kurda, all of whom have signed up via Twitch. We seem to be getting down to the last speaker. This is Mo Brooks, right?
And I want you to help me give President Trump a rather unique Alabama welcome, what I call an Iron Bowl welcome.
A welcome, exactly. I do want to say thank you to some really important people. Brennan Fletcher just got a membership on my website. Sue Manning Henkley is a new member. Nathan Olson, welcome, Nathan. Susan Greenall has just signed up. And Michael Gerheiser is the newest member, putting us at 130. 130. We're standing by for Donald Trump. Why is it dark on the right and light on the left? Is the left earlier or something like that? It's kind of a weird, no real explanation there. Thanks to Marina Pereplechikova. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, Marina. I apologize. You are new member 131 today. Folks wildly taking advantage. Does anybody know who I am in the audience, or are people just coming by with no idea of what channel this is? Let me take a look. A lot of people subscribing, so maybe people don't actually, you just stumbled across. We've actually been doing this for a while, and we had our 16th anniversary on Monday. And so we have a coupon code, 16 for 16. And you can use it on my website, and it's crazy. It's just it saves like 70-something%. We've never done it. My lawyer is telling me to stop. My accountant is telling me to stop. Hassan is telling me to stop. He knows that this is not the right coupon code for houses. It's just not going to work. Everybody's telling me to stop, but we're doing it anyway. And Jackie Wiseman just signed up on my website. Denise Ressler just signed up on my website. Very much appreciate that. It's just the day. If you've been thinking, oh, I don't know, this show, I mean, it's not worth $6 a month. It's not worth $5. It's not worth $4. Today is the day of 160. That's really the day. Let's listen to Mo Brooks here, if this is Mo Brooks.
We have the greatest military capability in world history. We are the beacon of freedom for all. We are the envy of the rest of the world.
Envy.
And we are not the greatest in world history because we are lucky. We are great because our ancestors sacrificed their blood, their sweat, their tears, their fortunes, and yes, sometimes their lives for freedom.
I don't know who's crazier, the person who says this or the person who likes it. Wizard of Frobaz says via Super Chat, if God decided the election, as the Trump supporter indicated, then there must be a corresponding signed voter registration for it, no? Thanks, David. Do you think you will ever play in another PogChamps? If they invite me, I will play. And do you think I could ever get a quick blitz game against you sometime? Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. David, I just finished I Alone Can Fix It. What did you think? I haven't read it. When will these idiots wake up? Climate change equals jobs. Green New Deal equals jobs. You want to appeal to these idiots? Get them good paying jobs. There are tons of trade jobs available. Thank you, David. Big fan of the show. Very well said. You're funny today. Welcome back, says Chris. Thanks, Chris. How's your girlfriend doing? Praying for a quick recovery. Yes, she's doing fine. She had 2 false positive COVID tests. False positive COVID tests. False positive COVID tests, not actual positives. Very, very important.
And then I see the disinfectant. Is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside? Or supposing we hit the body with a tremendous, very powerful light, apply light and heat to cure. Supposing you brought the light inside the body. Donate plasma, convalescent plasma. Donate plasma today, please.
All right. So that's my COVID routine. My favorite one of all of those, actually, is definitely this one.
Apply light and heat to cure.
That's so insane. It's just crazy. The previous sticker is a YouTube thing. It just let me say hello for being a member 21 months. It's a one-time thing. Well, thank you. I didn't even realize we had been on the YouTube membership beta for 21 months. Or the gamma, or any of it. Thanks, Nemo Nova. Very much appreciate it. Hey, David, thanks for all the reporting you've done. What will it take for Republicans to go back to policy, or is it gone forever? Republicans will go back to policy as soon as policy, rather than trolling, will win them elections. As soon as their followers care about policy, they will go back to it. There doesn't seem to be a downside right now for them, at least not at the local level. That's it. Why would they go to policy? Which could be never. It could be never. I want to say thank you to Monisha Giddings. Monisha, welcome, signing up on my website with the 16th anniversary code 16 for 16. Also, Ricky Marlowe Jr. is a new member. Jason Lombard has signed up. And Tim Esser is a new member, putting us at 137 today. 137. We should be moments from Donald Trump, now 36 minutes late. Denver McCarthy says, I really want to see a drunken Boston caller sobriety redemption arc. I feel bad for the guy. It's a Chicago guy, not Boston. I would like to visit Florida one day, not when COVID is out of control. Yeah, I was in Florida at the end of June before it got completely out of control, and it was still pretty out of control. I kind of regret going. I'm from Cullman, but have luckily moved. I am daily working to promote critical thinking media literacy. I love what you do. Keep up the good fight. Thank you. I truly can't afford this, as my husband lost his job over a month ago, but you really have to talk about Phil Valentine dying. Yeah, we've been covered. This anti-vax radio host, Phil Valentine, has been sick with COVID and he's been getting sicker and sicker. He just died. It's sad. I mean, it's all sad. And he became a vaccine advocate. Since getting hospitalized, he died. He died today. Yeah, if people haven't heard. So we will talk about that on Monday. He died of COVID, guys. He died of COVID. What do you think we're talking about here? August is almost over. When is Trump getting reinstated exactly? I think tonight. Where's the glowing glasses meme? Oh, yeah, somebody sent it to me. This should be the new format. We need memes, okay? Let me see here. Where was it? David asked for, I think it was. Now I'm struggling to find it. Oh, here it is. So you can find this on our subreddit. I wore glasses on the last stream, and I did what we call Bitcoin eyes, and I deliberately did it with the reflection of the lights in my face. And people did post it. If people want to turn this into various I think this is a great new meme format. Okay, so I'm going to paste this a few times in Twitch chat, and then I'll paste it just a few times in YouTube so the creative people in the audience can get it. Yeah, start sending those in. I think that would be great. Other super chats. Fox News is currently showing live updates of a Chicago police standoff. Yeah. Love it. Thanks for playing that It's My Favorite Show mix. So good. Yeah, you know, we actually had a couple others that didn't quite... Well, hold on a second. See if I can get one here. Show and file. Let's see here. Here's one other one for you guys. It's crazy. This is my full-time job, right? All right, so that was the Art Flores mix. Psycho Nadia, I think, was a good one.
It's my favorite show. You do more good than you know.
And then I think I have just one more for you.
David Paxton Show. It's my favorite show. You more good than you know. The David Paxton Show.
Okay, all right. That one didn't win, but that's okay. Hi, David. Happy 16th anniversary. Love your show. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Maria. I appreciate that. My entire family got COVID, decided to take ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine. Won't take the vaccine, though. It makes no sense. Yeah, that makes no sense. Happy 16th. Can't wait to see where you go now that you can drive. Which is girthier, your wrist or your biggest cuke? I'm actually growing lemon cukes, which are round. So it's sort of like a doesn't apply type situation. Did you know Meet Kevin is running for governor? Yes, I know. I'm up for talking to him about it. If you didn't know David was in the UV light room at the airport, make sure he didn't have COVID. Thank you, Master Trump. Exactly.
Supposing we hit the body with a tremendous, very powerful light, apply light and heat to cure.
Swami Live says, supposing you donated plasma,
convalescent plasma,
to apply heat to cure. I'm just looking out for you and your girlfriend. Thank you. Sir, do you think Afghanistan will hurt Biden in the midterms or will it blow over? I think it has a real possibility of hurting him.
Sir, I don't know.
Yeah. USA is definitely not the envy of the world. Hello from Australia. Love the show. Thank you. Jesse Dollamore and Farron did an excellent job, sir. Tell us about your decision to have them sit in for you. I thought they would be good. That's all. Thank you for all you do, says Cindy Lee. Did you hear about the British guy that got stuck in Afghanistan? He traveled wanting adventure. I did not hear about that. No. I keep getting distracted by the guy's sign in the back that's cut off and says, Save Erica. Who is Erica? Yeah, I see that. All right, I'm somehow caught up on Super Chats. I can't believe it, but we have gotten ourselves caught up on Super Chats. All right, we're standing by. We're probably moments from Trump. Somehow about 15 new memberships just dumped in. Look at this. Tim Allington just signed up on my website. What a day. James Dickerson is a new member. Dorothy Murray just signed up. Stefan Korkaz is a new member. Mac Hicks just signed up, as did Adam Smolowitz. Thanks to Aaron Marshall for the new membership, and Rebecca Claycomb. Rebecca, thank you. Great to see you. Chris Joyner is a new member, as well as Marty Kopka. That's 10 more. Nick Scott just signed up, as did Michael Jules II. Alex Griffiths just signed up, as well as Christopher Ryan. That's 14. And then Kenneth Gish, number 15, putting us at 162. People asking, what's the record? The record is in the 400s. That's an uphill battle for today. But Dark Warrior just dropped in a Twitch sub, putting us at 163. David, my girlfriend and I missed you while you were gone. Glad to see you back. Well, I'm glad to be back. Evan says, got vaccinated in May, tested positive with 2 of my boys, but my wife and newborn, who all share a room with me, tested negative. COVID is random. Yeah, that's weird. I am going to get it. I'm being tested tomorrow. I want to pass with flying colors, but the recommendation from the CDC is you travel internationally, you get tested 3 to 5 days after getting back. I got a test within 72 hours of flying back. I'm doing what the CDC says. So tomorrow I will be getting actually, I'm going to be getting 2 tests. Tomorrow I'm going to just grab a rapid test like at CVS or Walgreens because my brother's flying in and different things. He's going to be tested as well. Super strong test. And then Monday I'm actually getting like a lab result test. So I'll be getting tested twice. I'm hoping to test really positively from the standpoint of negative. Heard someone call anti-vaxxers spreadnecks, and I laughed. That's pretty good, actually. I don't trust the blue jacket guy. Keep an eye on him. Blue jacket. Do you mean the guy speaking, or who's wearing a blue jacket in the background? Up here? Man, why is Trump always an hour late? It's very strange. David, sir, any thoughts on the Canadian election? Not really. I'm just getting back and getting up to speed. My brother-in-law by double marriage, Brian Coldy, dropping in a $2 super chat. Great to see Coldy. Coldy helped me out with some technical issues pretty recently that related to multiple monitors, and I was able to get him on the phone, and he gave me everything I needed to know. Kryptonary says, where do I put the promo code 16 for 16? Let me show you. You're going to be shocked by this, actually. Look at this. You go to my website, okay? You save even more when you go yearly, but you don't have to. You could just do monthly. But let's imagine you understand saving 18%. Okay. You hit sign up. The field called coupon code. That's where the code goes. Okay. So I type in 16 for 16 and then $60. Oh, whoops. I typed in 160. 16 for 16 becomes 16. 16 is the theme, right? I think people can sort of understand that. Let's check in again with Mo Brooks, if that's even who this is.
And I want you to make sure that he can hear us and the sounds will reverberate. And the way to do that is to let him know, as you were doing earlier, how much we believe in the United States of America, and we can do that by chanting USA. So are you with me? USA, 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 USA. God bless you for being here. God bless President Trump. God bless Alabama. And God bless America.
Beta male.
Okay.
All right, the great MAGA Mo Brooks taking the stage.
What was
that? Was the last speaker before we go into...
All right, so President Scrumps will be speaking soon. People are accelerating their membership signups. I'm going to try to thank everybody, but this is it's crazy what's going on. I do want to say thanks to Justine Lampley. You know, it's fascinating. Our audience is like 70% male. During the live streams, the memberships are like 70% women. It's wild. I don't know what the explanation is. Justine Lampley has just signed up. Joe Dubb is a new member. Thanks to Philip Stone for the membership. William Schaefer. Okay, now it's mostly guys. Thanks to Philip Day Delory and Daniel McDermott, who has just signed up. Tanya Jarvie is a new member. So is Brett Johnson. And a very special thank you to Nathan Hewer. All new members, putting us at 171 for the day. Propaganda is on screen. I want to say thanks to Sean Awashko for signing up via Twitch Prime. Also, Montana Micah the Pica has gifted a subscription, putting us at 173. And remember that tonight only, Patreon counts double. Patreon.com/David Pakman Show. Every single Patreon will add 2, which is crazy. Let's see. Other super chats. Hey, David, my mom and I love your show. You're the MacGyver of opinion shows. I appreciate that, assuming that it's a compliment. What hair product do you use, David? I've said this many times. This is not a sponsor. I use one hair product and one hair product only. It is fiber from American Crew. That is the only hair product I use. Not a sponsor. Not a sponsor. Just subscribe. Thank you for great videos. Appreciate that. Thank you. Rillo Biley says, allegedly your show is beautiful. Absolutely stupendous. The biggest, most beautiful show. The greatest of all time. Many people are saying this. Seriously, it's going to be my bedtime. Where is he at? Yeah, it's going to be my bedtime. What does a membership include? A membership includes access to the daily, world famous, and award-winning bonus show. Now, I'll be transparent. There are awards we give out, but it is award-winning. A commercial-free audio feed of the show. A commercial-free video feed of the show. Members-only updates from me, as well as invitations to occasional member-only town halls. All right? Let's take a listen to the propaganda video.
Team. It lives, eats, sleeps, fights as a team. This individuality stuff is a bunch of crap.
This is just Patton, right? That's what this is? Is this from Patton?
For the Saturday Evening Post.
Oh, memberships also include my OnlyFans All Access Pass. And on that note, look at all these people signing up. Stephen Romanin is a new member. Adam Muto just signed up. Brian French. John Price. Thomas Asker. That's shocking that Thomas signed up. Eric Carlson is a new member. Jason Wood just signed up. Trishul Jayaram is a new member, putting us at 181. Michael Smith is a new member. They're almost coming in faster than I can keep up. Hi from Montreal. Love Montreal. Casamaza is one of my favorite restaurants there. Also Pastaga. Do you think Trump supporters will get sick of him for doing the same old rallies with no content and crazy Mike Lindell? No. No. I don't think they will. They're bored during the rally anyway. Pim Tool says, would you consider having me on the show again? Certainly, Pim. Anytime. Blue coat, red tie is the person. Oh, okay. We can't see them now. What's the best way to become a credible journalist in today's world for those who can't afford college? Go intern at a local paper if there's still one that's kicking where you live. Thanks to Kind AF for the Twitch sub, number 183 today. Also, thank you to about 8 new members here. Audrey Harkenrider is a new member. Kathy Hermanton has just signed up. Tim Sutton, thanks, Tim. Chad Mello is a new member. Carrie Power has just signed up, as has Mr. Seva. And also Anthony Berglund, putting us at 190 for the day. Also, thanks, Dead is Pool, for the Twitch Prime subscription. We are moments from Donald Trump. They are playing a patent propaganda video. This has gone from delusional to disturbing, and it will soon be dystopian and disgusting and depraved. It's just, it is what it is. The crowd enraptured by the propaganda.
And you may thank God for it. 30 years from now, when you're sitting around your fireside with your grandson on your knee, and he asks you, what did you do in the Great World War II?
This is all pretty vile, yeah. Who else do we have here? I'm trying not to miss people signing up here and sending messages. Will the Flu Klux Klan still be holding rallies this time next year? Yes. Sir, what media do you use for international news? Oh, mostly newspapers, actually. I primarily follow Argentinian news, but a lot of newspapers. 48 stars on the flag on stage. I object to the rally using the scene from Patton. Patton actually knew how to lead for all his flaws. Trump couldn't run a lemonade stand. I'm just a Frenchie, sir, disappointed with Biden's handling of Afghanistan. Do you think Trump's plan would have turned out the same? Yes, I already addressed that, and it absolutely would have. I believe that Joe Biden getting us out of Afghanistan is a major accomplishment. He did it. All right, so we're going to hear from Trump soon. Let's see if I can thank everybody who's signing up. I want to say thank you to Kevin Gouldy, who just pledged via Patreon, as well as Nathan Hewer. That's 2, but they count double today, meaning they count as 4. I also want to say thanks. Let me see if I can even get through this. Whoa. Let's see if I can get through it as Trump comes out. Samuel Dooley just signed up. Wow. Ron Hamley is a new member. Glennis Bruin is a new member. Brad Duran has signed up. I can't even keep up. Shijen Ingram. Mariama Nance. Nathan Wenslaff is a new member. Victor Lorenz. Sherry Townsend, as well as Lauren Conrad and Jonathan Krausen. There's no way I'm getting through all these. Ashton Lane is a new member. Oh my God, they're dumping in everywhere. Liz Labonte, Danny Johnson, Carrie Leonard, Rita Gillespie, Dara Johnston, Joanna Mangafis. I knew a guy named Rich Mangafis, actually. Laurel Camphausen, Alan McInnes, Alexandra Barnes, Allison Cross Street. These are coming in faster than I can keep up, guys. Peter Reed, Jerry Merritt. Okay, hold on. That was 21, right? Putting us at 116. Okay, let's see if I can get to the last few. Betty Morgan, Bonnie Steinbacher, Dawn Michelle Loprieno, Madeline Chapman. Wow, the ladies are really coming out today. Oh, whoop, I put 1,100. Wait. 220? Oh my God. All right, let's get to Trump here. Okay, it's still going, so I can thank a couple more people. Monica Capito, really appreciate that, number 221. Keniva just signed up via Twitch, number 222. What a shame and a disgrace that this rally is happening, but it is.
This is a big crowd, I'll tell you.
I'll keep the counter up to date, guys, yeah.
This goes all the way back. I wish they'd show it because they just don't do that. You know,
there's a camera on it right now.
This goes all the way back. I just looked at it on television. But it's our television. We show it, but they don't show it. You know why? Because they're fake news, right? They're fake news. Hello, Alabama, and I'm thrilled to be back in your incredible, wonderful state that we won by a record number. We won this state.
Alabama is actually a state he won.
They don't tell you about. We did have a rigged election. It was terrible, terrible. And you look at what's going on now. You look at what's going on now and the border, but take a look at Afghanistan, what's happening. But I'm with thousands of proud, hardworking, incredible American patriots. With your help, we're going to elect our friend Mo Brooks to the U.S. Senate.
Let's hope not, huh?
We're going to fire Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Joe Biden, and the radical left. And we're going to make America great again. We have been making it so great. Now they're biting into that, but we're not going to let that happen. We can never let that happen. That's why, you know, I had the idea, all my ideas. Someday they're going to tell me how to do things.
He's an idea guy.
The George Patton piece. Did you like that, General Patton?
That was his idea, guys. He came up with that.
Because we're getting a little tired of the woke generals that we have, right?
It's a fraud.
Where they move our military out before they move our civilians and before they move $83 billion worth of equipment. Let's move them out. And the Taliban looks and they say, I can't believe it. This could only happen to us. I can't believe it. The military left. They go in. We have 45,000 people there, Americans. Anywhere from, I guess, 15. They have no idea how many. That's even worse. They say it could be 10. Oh, could also be 45,000, but it's a lot of people and equipment like nobody has anywhere in the world, $83 billion. 1 year ago this month, in my nomination acceptance speech, which you remember, a lot of you were there. I see a lot of you that were there. I warned the entire country of the disastrous consequences of a Biden presidency. I understood it. A lot of you understood.
None of it came to pass, interestingly, but he did warn.
Eliminate America's borders in the middle of a pandemic. He did. I predicted that he would unleash a wave of violent crime that would turn our cities into a nightmare of killing and bloodshed. You look at these Democrat-run cities, Chicago, L.A., big cities, small cities, everyone run by a Democrat. New York, they don't prosecute people in New York. Only Republicans they prosecute. They don't prosecute murderers and killers. They prosecute Republicans. It's misconduct. It's called prosecutorial misconduct. But I told you this was going to be happening. We stated it loud and clear. We said he would impose crippling shutdowns and restrictions on in-person schooling, and that these
none of it's happened.
Would nonetheless fail to stop the virus. He didn't stop the virus, you know. They say, oh, he gets wonderful marks. He doesn't get good marks. He's done a terrible job, including on vaccinations, including on everything else.
Convalescent
and now the
plasma.
virus is back. The virus is back. I'm shaking hands with everybody backstage. I say, well, I don't know. Is this a good thing or bad?
Apply light and heat.
You'll read about it in 3 or 4
cure.
days, maybe. Hopefully not. But I said that
that's not really even funny.
Embolden America's enemies, and that's what he's done, and that the radical Democrat socialist agenda would set our nation on the road to economic ruin. You look at what's going on with inflation. Has anyone noticed that your gasoline is now at levels that you never thought you'd see again 6 months ago. So we had $1.87 a gallon, and we had a thriving industry.
Now, all of my viewers already understand what's going on with gas prices.
We didn't need the Middle East. We didn't need the Middle East. And now you have over $5 in many cases, and it's going, even here, it's going to be over $5 very soon. And I saw the other day, before this whole thing with Afghanistan started, because right now, nobody's talking even about energy, even about the horrible border condition that they're allowing millions of people to come into our country, people that we have no idea, but people aren't talking about that, talking about the disaster of Afghanistan. Not only have my predictions come 100% true, but it's
wrong,
even worse than any of us could have imagined in our worst nightmare. Nobody thought this kind of thing could happen. Biden has obliterated our border, given up our energy independence, caused soaring inflation.
He's already drenched in sweat, interestingly enough.
And policies, I mean, you look at what's going on, it's crazy. And the senators that voted for this $1.2 trillion bill, of which they call it infrastructure, but only 11% is infrastructure.
Imagine booing infrastructure.
Where the hell are these people coming from? It's the roadmap. They call it the glide path. It's the roadmap to the Green New Deal, conceived and dedicated by AOC, a real beauty. She's a real beauty. She knows more about the environment. I don't think she ever even did she ever take a course? She wasn't a good student. Did she ever take a course on the environment? Remember when we first said, you have 12 years to live, she said 2 years ago. That means you have, right now you're about 9.5 years. Somehow, not worried about that, but you are worried about China and Russia and other places, okay? All right? We rebuilt our military, stronger, bigger, better than ever before, and now I see it being dissipated and being given. Our military is being given to the enemy.
What?
Biden failed totally on the pandemic, and he's now overseeing the greatest foreign policy humiliation in the history of the United States of America. This is the greatest humiliation I've ever seen. Biden's botched exit in Afghanistan is the most astonishing display.
What Trump means is, good thing I wasn't able to do it, because the same damn thing would have happened. And getting us out of Afghanistan is a really great thing.
Name another situation like this. Vietnam looks like a masterclass in strategy compared to Joe Biden's catastrophe. And it didn't have to happen. All he had to do is leave the soldiers there until everything's out. Our citizens, our weapons. Then you bomb the hell out of the bases. We have 5 bases. And you say, bye-bye.
And you know Trump would have done better because of how well everything went during his presidency every time he did something.
Sides and falling off. There'll never be anything like that. That's worse than the helicopters. You remember the helicopters taking off the roofs? This blows it away. Not even a contest. This will go down as one of the great military defeats of all time, and it did not have to happen.
Trump had to be told that we can't really consider bombing Europe and that you also can't bomb hurricanes. And he wants us to think he would have run this all well.
We had them. I dealt with Abdul. He was the leader.
Oh, no.
I said, Abdul, anything happens, we are going to rain terror upon you. It will be a terrible thing. Don't touch our American citizens. Don't ever come to our country. Don't ever come to our country. And you're going to continue fighting your civil war. I can't do that. They've been fighting it for hundreds of years. That's what they do, is they fight. And they're good fighters. But I had a good relationship other than that.
The Taliban was formed in 1994.
Now let's get down to business. And we had...
He said hundreds of years.
...based agreement. And they didn't meet the first 2 conditions, and we hit them hard. And then they met them. And then they had a couple of other conditions that they were ready to meet. And then we had a rigged election, and we had a new president. And the new president came into office, and he dropped to his knees, and he said, come on in and take everything that we have. This is a disgraceful thing, the most embarrassing thing that we...
Now, an interesting thing happens right now. We're about 10 minutes in. the crowd that's been there all day, they now start to realize this is pretty boring. And you start to see the crowd tune out. It happens at every rally. They start lower energy. Sometimes couples will start fighting because they start looking at their watch and they're like, wait, hold on. Do you want to stay? Who are we staying? What's going on?
He surrendered our air base. He surrendered our weapons. He surrendered our embassy. They spent $1 billion building this ridiculous embassy. And he abandoned our great American citizens. They're over right now. They have no idea. Remember this, the Taliban's tough. And they don't respect our country, and they don't respect our president. It's not good. They're over there now, and they don't know what's going to happen, our citizens. Joe Biden was going on vacation as Afghanistan was going to hell.
Trump golfed a quarter of his presidency.
And this is what you get when you have weakness in the White House. You can't have weakness in the White House. They have to respect your president. When I was president, we only had strength. Remember the 59 shots we took at Syria? 59 missiles every...
Is he referring to the runways he bombed after letting Russia know he would do it, which were back up and running within 24 hours? Is that actually what he's referring to right now?
Chocolate cake at Mar-a-Lago is wonderful.
It is. Okay.
And when I said to him what we had just done, the missiles were launched, he looked at me and he goes, repeat. I didn't know he spoke English, actually. He said, repeat. I said, what did you just say? Repeat. So he spoke a little more English than I thought, because he never said hello, but he said repeat. And I said, we just shot 59 missiles in ships very far away. Every one of them hit their target. It was an incredible display of talent and weapons. And the reason we did that is because we had to, because President Obama and Biden drew the red line in the sand and said, don't cross it. And they crossed it, and nothing happened. That's when Russia got involved. Russia went in. They said, oh, nothing's going to happen. So Russia got involved. Other countries got involved. That red line in the sand from President Obama that was just absolutely, it just didn't matter. It was just words. That's a problem with a lot of politicians, actually, but not Mo. But it just doesn't matter. When he said, red line, don't ever cross it, and they crossed it, and nothing happened. But the 59 missiles were an incredible display. Under my administration, everyone in the world knew not to mess around with America. They knew that.
What he means is they knew there's no point in talking to America anymore because Trump's president. So, like, we'll deal with climate change on our own. We'll figure out all this stuff on our own.
As well as anybody. This would never have happened if I was president. Our country was so respected. Everybody respected our country. China respected our country. We took in billions and billions of dollars in taxes and tariffs from China.
He still doesn't seem to realize the American companies pay the tariffs. The American companies pay the tariffs, not China.
Attitude toward China changed. As I personally told the Taliban leader, if anyone ever double-crossed the United States of America, it would be the last thing.
Yeah, that was during the negotiations with the Taliban. He was negotiating with terrorists.
And you knew it better than anybody, and Alabama knew it, because one thing, we won Alabama by a record, we won South Carolina by a record, and then they said, we lost Georgia? How the hell did that happen? That doesn't happen. No, we know how that happened. We know how it happened. But under our leadership, America was respected again. Our people did a great job. I've been watching Mike Pompeo, Secretary of State. He did a great job, and he's going around spreading the word, and General Kellogg and others, they've been great. But they understood this could never happen. Could never happen.
What is he talking about?
Move the military first. You move the military last. We had total control militarily. They would have never come in. We could have kept them there for a long time, but 21 years, we want to bring them home. But we want to bring them home with dignity. You know, very soon, we're going to have September 11th, and you're going to have, because of Biden, the Taliban flag flying over our embassy, flying over our facilities.
What?
So that was not even a possibility that a thing like that could happen. We decimated ISIS. You remember that, ISIS. We had a great, great success. When I took over, ISIS was all over the place. And in a short period of time, we killed its leader and founder, al-Baghdadi. We eliminated the senior ranks of al-Qaeda, and we terminated the world's top terrorist in Soleimani, who killed a lot of American soldiers and a lot of other people, too. And they knew we weren't playing games. They understood that right from the beginning. This proven record of America's strength laid the groundwork to safely and responsibly bring our troops back home. Nobody was going to mess with us. And then this clown, they rigged the whole damn deal, and he got in office, and now they're taking advantage of us. And remember this isn't stopping. This is going to go on for a long time. This is going to go on for a long time. This isn't going away. This isn't like a 3-day hit. It's going to go on for a long time. Taliban, great negotiators, tough fighters, great negotiators. You got 45,000 people. You got a lot of people also that deserve to be helped, and they're not going to let them be helped at all. This is going to go on for a long time. This is a great stain on the reputation of our country. Going into the Middle East was one of the most disastrous decisions that our country has ever been involved with. We've never had a decision, in my opinion, it was the worst decision that we've ever had. It was quicksand. We should have gone in, knocked the hell out of it. You know, I met a general. His name was General Kane. I don't even know. Maybe he's not even on my side. Who the hell knows with these generals? You know, when I get through with this guy, Milley, I mean, how about Milley? Remember?
Uh-oh.
Remember,
guys, he supports the troops. This is the most pro-military guy.
Proudly walked to the church that the protesters, they tried to burn it down, but I walked to the church, protesters out there, and Milley was walking with me. And the next day, the radical left media starts calling, you shouldn't have walked, you shouldn't have walked. Instead of saying, I'm proud to walk with my president, not because it's me, because of the office. Instead of saying that, he wanted to apologize for walking with the president of the United States. And I said, this guy doesn't have what it takes. And you're seeing that now, because the worst decisions I've ever seen. That's, again, why I put the patent. I just remembered it as I was coming over here. I said, get that clip quickly. The people of Alabama understand that clip. Do you think that... Let me ask you, do you think that General Patton was woke? I don't think so. What do you think, Mike? Mike, was he woke? I don't think so. I don't think he was too woke. He was the exact opposite. You know what woke means? It means you're a loser. Everything woke. Everything woke. It's true. Everything woke turns to shit, okay? It's true. It's true.
Now the crowd's into it. Crowd loves it. Whoa, he swore. They're cheering that he swore. I mean, this is so humiliating. The world sees this and they just laugh. It's so embarrassing. But they're proud of it. That's what's really crazy.
The women's soccer team was supposed to easily win, but they went woke, except for a few of them. I love those women that stood up and they saluted our flag. There were some of them. But the one with the purple hair, she didn't play too well. She went woke. You can have her. And they didn't do too well, unfortunately. We want them to do well, but they didn't. But it's true about woke. You just take a look. Everything goes bad.
Elements of woke.
It's a shortcut to losing everything you have. They want to get rid of our great heroes and heroines. They want to get rid of our history, our culture. We're not going to do it. We're not going to do it. You know, when they were starting to rip down our statues, and it started with people, Confederate people, generals, some respected, some not, but they're taking down our culture and our heritage. And then it started with others, and then it went to Robert E. Lee. Robert E. Lee was a part of our history, and then it went...
Do you guys have any idea why this woman is facing to the left? Like, why is she pointed to the left like that? Anybody have any idea?
Name of George Washington off schools. Can you believe it? We're not going to let this stuff go on. The hardest thing I had to do as president was signing letters to the families of soldiers who were killed in the Middle East. Often I called the parents, very often. Sometimes I went to Dover Air Force Base. That's where the bodies of the soldiers would come in, and I'd see them bringing a young man, young woman in a coffin, and I'd be with the parents. And I've told this story a couple of times. The parents would sometimes be unbelievable. You would almost not understand. It was like, sir, it's so great to meet you. And they'd always tell stories about their child. Sir, my son
you're
could
on the
throw
cover of Time
football
magazine
so long.
again.
He was a quarterback in high school.
Sir!
He was a quarterback in college.
Sir, you
I
can't
think he
ask
could
that
have been
question.
In the NFL. He was really good. He was so great. And we're waiting for the plane to come in. And sometimes they'd be talking about their daughter. Lots of daughters were killed coming out of the Middle East. My daughter was so beautiful, sir. She was so incredible.
Sir, I think
She
you're
was the
doing very
greatest.
well.
And I'd say to the general and the colonel that ran Dover, the great people, we have great, by the
Mr.
way,
President,
we have
sir,
great generals.
how are
we
you?
have great generals. The ones you see on television are not the ones that are great. We have great generals and we have great leaders and a great military that I
What is he talking about?
It was exhausting. But I'd say to the general and the colonel that ran Dover, and they saw the bodies coming in many days of the week, I'd say, General, it's amazing. The parents seem so fine. They can handle it. No,
If
they can't,
Ivanka were
sir.
my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating
I said,
her.
no, I just spent a half an hour talking to them. They're okay. I mean, they understand what happened. They're okay. No, they're not, sir. When that plane pulls up, sir, that
Sir, I think
big,
you're doing very well.
unbelievable, powerful, just like you saw 3 days ago with the bodies dropping off the sides.
Mr.
How
President,
desperate are
sir.
people to leave when you're hanging clean
This is
to a plane that goes up
bonkers. This is completely crazy.
you eventually have to let go. How desperate is that? How sad and how desperate. But when that cargo plane pulled up and that door opened, the general said, sir, when that door opens and you had the most beautiful young people carrying a coffin or a number of coffins off of the plane, sir, when that happens, you'll see
I
the
don't even
parents
know what
are
I'm
not
doing,
okay.
sir.
So I was talking.
What was the point of this story? I don't even know. What was the point of the story?
I was amazed at their strength. And 10 minutes later, I watched that same mother and that same father screaming, running to the coffin as it was being taken off, breaking security lines. You couldn't
The way I'm understanding this story is Trump was like, I was confused by people experiencing human emotions, which sometimes changed from one moment to the next.
and gives up. And it's a disgrace. It's a disgrace to our country. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace to everybody. The most incredible people. But that was the saddest thing, seeing that Dover. You go to Dover. You go also to Walter Reed Medical Center, incredible doctors. I will tell you this, most incredible doctors. And you see the kind of horrific injuries, and you see the parents, the wife, the husband standing and looking over the body of somebody that was just absolutely shattered. In some cases, no legs. In one case, I'll never forget, no legs, no arm, and then the other arm a half, and said to me, sir, I got lucky. I was able to save.
Sir, you can't ask that question.
And I'm looking and I'm saying, we can never let this happen again. It was a terrible, terrible thing that happened. It was such a horrific.
This guy is a bigger idiot than I thought. I mean, this is what is he talking about? What the hell?
Sefer Hyde. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Wasn't that entire thing kind of insensitive? Like, I mean, it was unintelligible, but also it seemed completely insensitive.
Melded in with the government, but I've never been a big fan of Ghani. I always said he was a total crook. I've said it for years. It turned out he was a crook. He was a crook, and he left. He fled. He fled with a lot of cash. What we've done, how we got into that mess is just amazing. But we could have gotten out with honor, and we should have gotten out with honor. And instead, we got out with the exact opposite of honor.
When Trump uses the word sir 30 times in a story, it's probably a fake story, right?
Last year, somebody said, oh, he's dealing with the Taliban. Who the hell else am I supposed to deal with? China? Deal with the people that ran or the people that were highly paid. You know, we paid the soldiers. They were among the highest paid soldiers in the world. I remember a certain highly overrated general.
Dear God.
My office, sir, they're fighting for their lives. They're fighting for their country.
I don't even know what
I'm doing, sir. They're paid more than any soldier in the world. And when that payment stops, they're gone. And that's exactly what happened. Exactly what happened. But since my administration began
This lady right here just looked over and was like, do you know what he's talking about? I don't know what he's talking about. Other lady's like, no, I don't. I have no idea. They're like, okay, so neither of us know. Okay.
in Afghanistan, it's over 18 months now. 18 months. And you know why that is? Not because the Taliban aren't great fighters, because they are great fighters. All you have to do is ask.
Yeah, he's praising the Taliban way more than our military, that's for sure.
Soviet Union, and because of Afghanistan, it's now Russia. Much smaller version of what it was. Because of Afghanistan, they went bust, spending so many years and so much money and not winning in Afghanistan. But all of that money they spent, all of the lives they lost, same thing. But all you have to do is ask Russia, what do you think? Now I hear they're going back in, not so fast. Everybody that's gone in hasn't been so good. And you know what? We have to go in, and we should go in when it's right. And we now may have to be forced to go in because this person that is running our country made a horrific decision of taking all of our powerful military out.
Wait, is he saying now we should go into Afghanistan?
Be forced, but we may be forced to go in. And if you're not prepared to go in, you're never going to see those 45,000 people again.
Throw them the hell out of here.
If they don't think you're prepared to go in, you're never going to see again, whether it's 10 or 45,000 people. You'll never see them again. All Joe Biden had to do was follow our plan. It's like the border. All he had to do was go to the beach. He didn't have to do anything. We had the tightest, most secure border. We built almost 500.
Guys, rain knocked over the border wall today. Rain knocked over the border wall today.
And I would have had it much earlier, but I got sued by the Democrats in Congress so much. Took 2.5 years for me to win.
Rain and wind. Okay, I'm sorry.
We won all the lawsuits. We built it at a rapid pace.
Rain and
just
wind.
About finished. Helped us great. We set records at the border. All he had to do was go to the beach. Same thing here. All he had to do was follow our plan. Now it was conditional, so if they don't follow it, then we start blasting them again. They didn't want to be blasted. They were tired of being blasted. They were tired. You know, they're
With all
tough.
due respect, that's a bunch of malarkey.
Everybody's tough. But you know what? We're tougher. He just said it. But nobody would know it. Nobody would know it. When you look at what's happening, nobody would know it. But we're tougher. I'd like to explain that to Abdul and to everybody else. We're much tougher. Please remember that. It's hard for them to understand that now after watching this. Think of that. The soldiers have left. I could just see this. The leadership of the Taliban standing there.
Abdul seems like an interesting guy.
Sir, the soldiers have left.
Sir.
Afghanistan. He goes, what? The soldiers have left. And they've left all of their citizens behind. And they've left $83 billion worth of equipment behind, including brand new Apache helicopters, thousands of Humvee vehicles with armor guard, equipment that nobody has ever...
Armor guard? I thought they had Scotch guard. Trump insists on Scotch guard.
So can you imagine these guys, Abdul and his friends, sitting there, that the United States soldiers...
Usually when he tells this story, he says the guy's name is Muhammad. Now he's saying the guy's name is Abdul.
They walked in, and they took everything. It's crazy. It's crazy. I've never seen anything so stupid in my life. Somebody said, "Don't say it, sir. It's not good." I asked yesterday, I was with a group of people, and there was a 5-year-old child. And I explained the situation to the 5-year-old child.
The child was like an adult, but smaller. It was fascinating what they're doing these days with technology. It was just like a small person.
They actually do like it, but they'll never say it, okay? But I asked the child, "So what would you do after describing?"
I said, "How are you 3 feet tall? How did you do it?" And he said, "Well, sir, I'm 7. I'm just not big yet."
All of that incredible military equipment? Or would you have the military go out first? "Sir, I'd leave the military in." He was 5. Sir! He said, "I'd leave the military in. Get everything out first." I said, "Thank you very much." But they didn't want me to tell that story. They thought it was not an appropriate story, but it's true. This was a 5-year-old kid.
Unlike the other stories, this one is true. Inappropriate, but true.
This is what we're stuck with. But when Biden took office, he foolishly tore up our really good plan. Again, not a plan. It's
Biden did the plan.
do this, we do this, we do this. If you don't do these things, we're not going to do it. And then we start dropping bombs all over the place. And they say, "You know what? We're going to do it. We've decided to do it." No, we had a good understanding. They always hate it. Remember when I came in, Obama said the worst problem we have is North Korea, Kim Jong-un. I said, "What's the problem?" He said, "I think you're going to go to war with North Korea." I said, "Have you ever called him?" "No." Actually, he called him 14 times and was not responded to.
Right. Trump doesn't understand that North Korea makes the same promises all the time. And so you don't just give them a meeting and a photo op. Trump didn't understand that. He thinks he figured something out. He's like, "I got him to meet with me." They've been trying to meet with American presidents for 40, 50 years. It's the point is you try to get preconditions. Dear God. Where'd the audio go?
And anyway, it was very nasty. And then all of a sudden it became a love fest. It became great. Right? And I went to North Korea, went to South Korea, went across the line. We got along great. There was no nuclear catastrophe. But you got to be careful because he does not respect Joe Biden. And he does not respect any longer America. But I said, it's good to speak to people. I stopped the pipeline in Russia. I stopped it. Nobody's ever been tougher to Russia, but I got along great with President Putin. We had a great relationship. He said, "You're killing me with this pipeline." I said, "Look, not right. Germany shouldn't have been doing that." You know, the European Union takes tremendous advantage of us. Almost as bad economically.
It's total free association. He's all over the place.
Thing to say. I say, really? How many Chevrolets are in Beijing right now? Maybe none. Okay? They won't take our cars. They won't take our farm product. They won't take anything. And I was hitting them hard. And then the China virus came, and it was a terrible period of time, but we did the greatest job. And because the base was so strong, what we did was so strong. Our country is doing
Donate
well.
plasma today,
it's going to be
please.
blown now with all the inflation and everything else that's taking
Supposing
place.
you
But we
brought the
built
light
such a
inside the
strong
body.
foundation that our country is doing great and other countries are doing horribly, horribly.
Horribly.
Remember, they used to use anything to hit us. When we got hit, I closed it to China, closed it to Europe, anything to hit us. But they'd say, in South Korea, they're doing so well.
And then I
South
see the
Korea's being
disinfectant.
decimated
Is
right
there a way
now.
we can do something
India
like that?
is doing so well. India is being decimated right now. We did a great job on that. The ventilators, the equipment that we got,
Apply
the cupboards were all
light
there.
and heat
Everything that we
to
did. And then we developed a vaccine, 3 vaccines in 3 months.
What a doofus.
In 9 months. And actually, I'll tell you, it was 3 days less. 3 days less than 9 months. And it's great. And you know what? I believe totally in your freedoms. I do. Bree, you got to do what you have to do. But
this is his code.
Take the vaccines. I did it. It's good. Take the vaccines. But no, that's okay. That's all right.
They're booing him.
You got your freedoms.
Wow, they're booing Trump saying get vaccinated.
If it doesn't work, you'll be the first to know, okay? I'll call up Alabama and say, hey, you know what? But it is working. But you do have your freedoms. You have to maintain that. You have to maintain that. And you got to get your kids back to school. And the mask issue is interesting because Fauci said masks are bad. And now
dude, he said it in March of 2020.
Now he wants you to wear 15 different masks at one time. I don't know. He also told me he was a great athlete. Then I saw him throw out a pitch at the baseball. I used to be a great athlete, sir. You did? Really? Oh, that's good. Then I watched him on television. That's not an athlete.
Notice Trump threw out no first pitches, right?
Base, isn't it? The issue here is not about whether to leave Afghanistan. The issue is Joe Biden's staggering incompetence and gross negligence. He doesn't know where the hell he is. You think he's running the government? He's not running the government.
Uh-oh.
Creating the greatest strategic humiliation that we've ever seen as a country, and it was something that we should have stopped, and the generals should have done something. They should have done something. They should have talked to him and said, look, Commander-in-Chief, but you just couldn't have done that. If he had if he just moved the people out, he should have done it, and he should have done it first. He had to have done it first. You know, sometimes in life, decisions are made. And when those decisions are made, if they're bad decisions, you've got to get away from them. And you've got to get away from them fast. And if you don't get away from them, you're not going to have a country anymore. You know, I said about elections, if we don't have great elections, if we don't have borders, if we don't have the things that are being taken away from us, we're not going to have a country anymore. And certainly, we're not going to have a respected country anymore. With me in office, the Taliban would not have ever dreamt of capturing our airfield or...
Hey, guys, now this woman's facing the opposite way. Isn't there something kind of strange going on there? I really don't get what's going on. She's facing away now from the stage.
We made them. There would have been no emergency embassy evacuation and no taking down of our flag. They took down our flag because we would have established clear lines that the Taliban would have never dared to cross. The problem with Biden is that our enemies are not afraid of him. They don't respect him. Our adversaries.
She's looking for the exit. Okay.
No longer trust him. They can't trust him any longer. Remember, he went back and he went to Europe, and they didn't know what the hell was going on. And they said, we're back. We're back. In other words, we're back. Now you can continue to take advantage of us, because Europe took advantage of us with NATO like nobody ever. You know, I got Europe to pay $430 billion toward NATO. They would have never paid. For 15, 18 years, it was like this, the payment. And we're protecting them. And some of them were totally delinquent. They didn't pay. And I said, you got to pay. They said, sir, what would happen if we didn't pay? Would you protect us? I said, if you didn't pay, I would not recommend protecting you. And it was amazing how fast that money came in, right? Money came in. That money came in fast. 430. It started off with 130 billion, not million, billion. And then 430 billion came in very quickly. We did a lot of good things with South Korea. I said, we protect you for nothing. You've got to pay. You're a rich country. You make the boats. You make all our television sets, which you took from us. Thank you very much. You make so many cars for us. You got to pay. And they agreed, and they paid billions of dollars at my request. It wasn't that easy. It took a little while, like about 2 days.
Right.
They agreed to pay billions of dollars.
Trump needs to convince us that it was hard but easy for him, but still difficult.
Next year, wait till after the election, but you're going to have to pay at least $5 billion. No, we will not pay. I said, yes, you will pay. We have 32,000 soldiers in South Korea. He said, no, President Moon, nice man, good man. But he said, no, which he should say. Why should he when he's been, succouring us for so many years? So he said, no. I said, you're going to have to pay $5 billion. But then the election result turned out different than what it should have. different from the real result. And I just heard they made a deal with South Korea to pay a cost of living adjustment. You know what that is? Nothing. When the money I raised, it's like nothing. And that's so
Crowd's checked out now.
Another country, I'm sure, that was extremely happy with the results. But I did a great job in protecting them. I think I've saved them from Kim Jong-un. So I don't think they... I tell you what, a lot of people from South Korea come up to me and say, thank you very much, sir. I think I saved them from Kim Jong-un because of the relationship I developed with Kim Jong-un.
Crowd's like, okay, all right.
President, and look, he makes Jimmy Carter look great, right? Look at that man with that jacket. I love you, man. How many rallies have you come to? What number is this? 30. Much more than that. Much more.
Throw him the hell out.
We have some
of
women.
here.
Where are they here tonight? North Carolina. Where are they? Where are they? We have some women. They've been to 96. I didn't even know we did 96. Said, how many? Sir, we're up to about 96. I said, I didn't know we did that many. But, you know, look, this is a very unpleasant subject. But still, is this the greatest place to be in the world? At a Trump rally, right?
What?
It's unpleasant to talk about it. But sometimes you have to think and talk about unpleasant things. But not only is it Biden and the embarrassment to the United States abroad, his radicalism and extremism is currently destroying our nation right here at home. And nobody understands that better than Alabama. Nobody. Remember when Biden used to go and say, like, he's in Iowa, and it'd say, it's great to be in Idaho. Sir, you're in Iowa. He would do this all the time. He was in New Hampshire. It's great to be in Maine today. Sir, you're in New Hampshire. The worst was when he was in New York, and he said, it's great to be in Florida. There were no palm trees. Great to be in Florida. He'd do that all the time.
Are any of these things true?
I've never done it. With all the speeches I've made, I was just saying because I said Alabama, but I know exactly. I didn't have to think about it. It's called Alabama. I love Alabama. I've always loved Alabama.
So there's a storm cell that's pretty bad that seems to be somewhere in the range of 15 to 20 minutes from Cullman, Alabama. I'm really hoping that the weather just goes absolutely nuts and we see Trump run off stage or do something bizarre.
If that ever happened, it's a disaster. You might as well just walk off the stage because you could be Winston Churchill, great speaker. You could be Winston Churchill, the great Winston Churchill, make an incredible rest of the speech, and it's a disaster. The only difference is if you make a speech, if he does it, which he does all the time, different forms, the press doesn't cover it. He's the only guy that didn't get covered falling, walking up the stairs to ever. The press didn't cover it, other than a couple internet covered it, I guess, right?
It was sort of like on the news all day that day, actually. Yeah.
Down goes Frazier. Remember that? Down. He kept going down and up, down and up. I said, what the hell's going on here? I was watching that. What's going on with our president? And it wasn't on one nightly newscast. I think I might have been on. I did the ramp, the long, slippery ramp. I said, General, it was pouring out, pouring. I said, General, this is a bad deal here. I got leather shoes on the bottom, and I'm going to fall. I'm not going to let them. I'm not. So I walked down tiny little steps. What's wrong with the president? The biggest story. I was so proud when I got down, I didn't fall. I said, General, I don't want to grab you, but I may have to grab you. Big, strong general, commandant of West Point. I made my best speech at West Point that day.
Oh, yeah.
But then it was pouring.
It was great.
And when I went down the ramp, and it was pure, it wasn't, normally they have like some little grooves, nothing. It was like an ice skating.
Totally slick,
I think it was a trap.
He needed a guy to hold his hand. It's okay.
I said, General, this is not a good situation. That sucker looks slippery as hell, and I'm not going to allow them to take me falling. Remember Gerald Ford fell? That was not a good time. Some other bad things happened to presidents. Not a good time. You can't do that. You can't let that happen. So what happened is they made that a big story. I was so proud of myself. I made my best speech, and nobody talked about that speech. Someday, hopefully, they'll go back and get the speech I made at the graduation of West Point 2 years ago. I'd love you to hear that speech. I called up the First Lady. I said, First Lady, I just made a great speech.
And she said, sir.
She said, you're on television for the way you went down a ramp. That's all they talked about. But with him falling down the stairs 3 times, he was down. No, he's up. No, he's down again. Oh, my God. No, he's up. He's down again. He's down for 3 times. You know, if that were a fight, they'd stop it, right? If that were a fight, they would have stopped it, Mike. In a matter of mere months, Biden has thrown our southern border wide open. When I left office, we handed the new administration the most secure border in U.S. history, and they turned it into the greatest border disaster in American history, probably anywhere in the world. You know, they're emptying their prisons out into our country.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not just talking about Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, Mexico. I'm talking about Middle Eastern countries.
Uh-oh.
Yemen, people are coming in from Yemen. Our country will really be in trouble.
There's no evidence that people are coming in from Yemen through the southern border.
We ended the ridiculous catch and release. You catch somebody, you find out they're a criminal, and you release them immediately into our country. We ended asylum fraud. We deported record numbers of criminal aliens. We negotiated historic agreements with Mexico and Central America to stop illegal immigration. And we built all of that wall that I just talked about. But we had a stay in Mexico policy. You can't come into our country, I'm sorry. Stay in Mexico. Biden ended it. He ended it. But you know what happened? Yesterday, we won in court, and a very wise judge said, we're allowed to have stay in Mexico. Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Judge.
Crowd has no idea what he's talking about.
Thank you very much. I mean, they used to stay in the United States, and then you'd never find them again. You stay, and, you know, some of these people are seriously tough criminals. I achieved a 90% reduction in illegal border crossings. Think of that, 90%. It was going to go much higher. And brought illegal immigration to a virtual halt. It was the lowest levels ever recorded. And you could come into our country, but you had to come in legally. Finally, we did it, but we had to win a lot of court cases. Many of those court cases...
For people in the audience who are bored, and there seem to be a lot of you, we could be like 10 to 15 minutes from an insane thunderstorm wreaking havoc on this event. And I'm sort of, in my mind, looking forward to that. It might be more interesting.
And you will be immediately sent back home where you belong. And when people heard that, and they hear it, they're genius, it's genius. When people heard that, and then they saw the results, because it was at games, it was happening, they never came. They stopped. Remember at the beginning with the caravans? We ended the caravans, but now the caravans are back at a level that nobody's ever seen.
How convenient.
Bigger, stronger, more powerful. It's a disgrace. Now the radical left Democrats have surrendered our sovereignty to the coyotes and drug cartels, child smugglers, human...
Coyotes and dingoes both are now in control.
Biden stopped wall construction, instituted nationwide catch and release, wanted it back, and invited the entire world to make a mad dash for the USA. When he said, come, you're welcome, I don't know if he knew. Do people think this is a good thing, what happened? They're destroying our country. They're destroying. Last month alone, Border Patrol, who we love, apprehended a mind-boggling 210,000 illegal border crosses. You can multiply that times 6, 7, 8, or 9 of the people that come in without getting caught. They say you can use numbers like that. Record numbers are getting away, and historic numbers are coming from outside Mexico and Central America, from every corner all over the world. A lot of them coming in from the Middle East. At this rate, millions of illegal aliens will cross our border just this year alone. Millions of people. Many of
God,
these
the crowd's
people
so
are
bored.
hardened criminals, murderers. Again, think of this. Just think of the statement. They are emptying their jails into the United States. Think of that. A lot of people don't know what that means.
We're looking very
They are
slowly
the
at sinks
toughest,
and
meanest
showers.
jails. They're emptying them into the United States. This massive overcrowding on our border is a super spreader disaster that will bring new variants into our nation, and honestly, far worse than variants, far worse. MS-13 is being replenished to levels never seen before. I brought MS-13 through ICE and Border Patrol out by the thousands. Thousands. We were going into towns in Long Island, and these were brave warriors like law enforcement is. We have so much respect. And they'd go right into what they call a nest of a lot of these gang members.
They call them
and
dumps.
They'd start fighting. All these guys that I know, my friends in the first row, I know every one of them very well. Not one of them would do this job. And if they did, they'd be knocked out in about 2 seconds. They wouldn't do it well. They wouldn't want to do it. ICE these are brilliant, great, tough, strong, but more important than anything, patriotic people. They would go into these towns and they would get these hardened criminals that are loaded up with weapons, and they would get them the hell out of them.
Everybody's looking at weather reports now. I'm seeing 83% rain right now in Cullman, Alabama. So quite literally any second we could get a downpour.
Shut down interior enforcement and turned our nation into a giant sanctuary for dangerous criminals. We have criminals coming in this country. Nobody knows how bad it's going to be. Watch, that's another Trump prediction. In the Republican Party, we believe our country should be a sanctuary for law-abiding Americans, not for criminal aliens. Under
I'm
my
rooting for the storm, yeah.
We found the gang members, drug dealers, and various MS-13 killers. And we I mean quickly. We knocked them out so fast. Nobody could believe it. Thousands a year. And we quickly deported them, or we put them behind bars where they belong. Sometimes they were so evil, so vicious, we didn't want to take a chance on bringing them back to their countries. And their countries didn't want them, you know. You know that story. I've told that story. When I came in, we'd catch these people, and Border Patrol, ICE, I'd meet with the top people. They're incredible people. They'd say, sir, they won't take the people. I said, what do you mean they won't take them? They don't want them back. They don't want the gang members back. They don't want the killers back. They won't take them back. When we fly in with an airplane, they put planes on the runway so we can't land. We have to come back. The buses, they stop. They won't take them back, sir. None of the 3 major countries that we're talking about, Honduras, Guatemala, El Salvador, they won't take them back, sir. I say, really, do we give them any money every year? This is early on. Sure. So, I learned exactly what it was, but early on, hadn't done it too long, right? Do we give them any money? Yes, sir. How much? About $500 million a year.
Sir, he's better than I am.
That's a lot of money, right? So I said, good, stop payment immediately. No more money going to these countries. No more money. No more money going to these countries. I immediately stopped all of this 500 million, a little more than that, 500 million going to the 3 countries. And a day went by and I got a call from all 3 of the heads of those countries who I knew and know and respect. They're smart. They're very streetwise people.
Okay.
They're very smart and very, very streetwise. Mr. President, you stopped many millions of dollars from coming into Honduras and Guatemala and El Salvador. You stopped it from coming in, Mr. President. Is there something we did wrong? Yes, you're not taking back people that came into our country illegally. You will not take them back. Oh, there must be some understanding, sir. We would love to have them back. I said, congratulations. We'll be sending lots of planes your way. And we did. We got them all back.
Anybody know what he's talking about?
Payment. I delayed that sucker a long time. We still didn't make the payment. We waited a long time, but they took them all back. And then the other day I heard that Biden wants to give those countries $4 billion.
With all due respect, that's a bunch of malarkey.
Because he thinks that they're going to spend the money on economic development. No, it's going to go economic development into their bank accounts in Switzerland, okay? That's the economic development we're talking about.
Trump would know.
They want to give them $4 billion. They're working on the paperwork right now. The money's going to be stolen. It's going to be given to the cartels. It's going to be given to the traffickers. It's going to be kept by politicians. See, we only have honest politicians in our country, right? Like Mo. That's true.
Okay.
We understand, and we've understood very much in America First, that immigration security is national security. And that's why we instituted the travel ban. Remember the travel ban? I took such heat where I was able to get people that came into our country from very tough countries.
China?
Very, very tough countries. And I was able to stop them from coming to our country.
China.
Because we didn't want to have our stores blown up.
China all the time.
We didn't want to have buildings set on fire and death and destruction. So
We didn't.
we lost at the lower court, we lost at the second court, and then we won at the United States Supreme Court. And to show you how dishonest the press is, recently they wrote about it. They said he lost in court.
The crowd's increasingly distracted by something in the background.
Then I won. I said, you didn't say I won. Well, you did lose. You know, in other words, technically they're right. I lost in court, but I won.
Technically.
And we have a travel ban. And without that travel ban, you would have some really bad people in here from places in the world that are evil. And it was a great thing. I took a lot of heat over that travel ban. People said, that's not nice. They all like to call it a Muslim ban. It wasn't a Muslim ban. It was a travel ban from a lot of different countries that are bad. And they send bad people to us.
It's not racist at all.
And because
no,
of the travel
not at all.
ban, we didn't have to accept that. So it was a great success, but they try and make it look like it wasn't very nice. We dramatically reduced refugee admissions and kept radical Islamic terrorists the hell out of our country.
Uh-oh, where's this lady going?
Is that okay? One of the first acts that Biden did after Mitch McConnell said, we must get back to work. We have to get our country going. We have to approve him as the president. Even though the evidence was staggering, you'll see the evidence starting to come out. It's already come out far beyond what we need. By the way, far, far, far beyond what we need. We have to get back to our country and running our country, Mitch McConnell. And the first thing that Biden did was sign 17 of the worst executive orders in the history of our country. And one of them, Biden revoked that beautiful, wonderful...
Are people leaving? What's going on here?
And has surged refugee resettlement from the most dangerous countries in the world, the most dangerous terrorists in the world. They come into our country now with no problem. Come on in. It's love to have you. This is a sick culture, and our country is a disaster, and it's going to die before your very eyes if this craziness isn't stopped in so many ways. You know, the Afghanistan thing is so simple to understand because, you know, it's really, when people watch that, people that weren't even into watching political things on the news, but when people watch this, they understood it immediately about the military. Don't take them out. Leave it till last. Sort of like the captain of a ship. Let's jump off first before the passengers. I'm getting the hell out of here. Right? That's what it is. The captain is supposed to wait and watch.
I'm getting reports that we're 8 minutes from a downpour.
When you have dishonest and rigged elections, this is what happens. This is what you get. Our nation is being destroyed from within by people who have no right to destroy it. No right. They have no right to destroy it. As everyone here understands, the 2020 election, that presidential election, which was such a great day at 10 o'clock, it was over. Pennsylvania, Trump is winning by a lot. Arizona, Trump is winning by a lot. We don't even talk about Alabama. There was nothing they could do with this one. There was nothing.
Okay.
And it'll go down. You're going to see things happening. It'll go down as the most corrupt election in American history and almost probably in any history.
Yeah.
The evidence of the fraud is monumental, and more is coming out. Just recently, Wisconsin election officials admitted they removed more than 200,000 voters. By the way, that's 10 times more than I need to win.
They call them dumb.
10 times more. 200,000 from the voter rolls, and they did it, unfortunately. Why didn't they move them before the election? They removed them after the election. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it. They removed these names after the election was over, approximately 20 times more than we needed. Earlier this month, it was revealed that in Georgia, ballots were rejected by machines and illegally altered by hand to remove marks for Trump and instead cast votes for Joe Biden. You'll see that coming out. You're going to see many of them.
Should only take another few years. It'll come out.
You had a little problem. More votes than voters. A little problem.
That's
Take
a
look at
lie.
Detroit.
It's like we've debunked all these things already.
Many more votes than they have voters. Oh, that doesn't sound so good, does it, huh? And I needed just a little bit. Didn't need much of it. For example, in Nevada, it was recently discovered that 15 out of the state's 17 counties had more votes than voters in
No, it was not.
run by Democrats. Gee, I wonder how that happened. In Arizona, 11,000 individuals are now listed as having voted who were not even on the rolls the day after the election. They weren't listed on the rolls. None of the margins in the state, remember this, the margin was less than 11,000, substantially. So that was much more than we needed. That was just one of many categories. The Arizona auditors.
Right.
I need 11,000 votes. Give me a break.
Stating that county election workers abolish signature matching entirely. Okay, well, that sounds reasonable. No signature. In other words, whose signature is it? We're not allowed to match. Oh, that's great. Maricopa County has refused to comply with an official subpoena to provide images of the envelopes, this would prove whether they indeed counted ballots with no signatures at all. Many of the ballots weren't signed. They were just thrown in there. Finally, a recent trend analysis of all 50 states based on population growth, voter history, and voter registration.
This guy's rubbing his eyes.
By one of the most respected people in that industry, somebody so respected, military person, Captain Seth Keshel, found over 8 million excess Biden votes. In other words, he had 8 million more votes than he's supposed to have. And his estimate is conservative. He considered it very conservative, and I believe he said he didn't even go to the machines. This is without even looking at the machines.
This is without any evidence at all.
I'm not the one trying to undermine American democracy. I am the one trying.
He's like, this guy, without actually looking at anything substantive, thinks Biden got 8 million too many votes. Oh, okay, well.
The numbers speak for themselves. We got 12 million more votes than in 2016. I was told by the best pollsters in the world, real pollsters,
John
not
McLaughlin.
the phony pollsters that are used by certain of the fake news media. If I got 1 million more votes, I couldn't lose. I got 12 million more votes, and we lost. You know, Obama the second time got millions fewer votes.
What just happened to the audio?
But I was told by the most talented pollsters, and polling is talent. Polling works, but not when it's fraudulent polling. Get 1 million votes, sir, you cannot lose. It'll be an easy early evening. We got 12 million votes, and they said we lost, or we didn't. We won 18 out of 19 bellwether counties, which is unprecedented. We flipped 15 House seats. Remember, we were going to lose 25 to 35 House seats. Instead of losing 25 or 35, we won 15. It was a big evening. And you know why? Because they came in on our coattails. That's what happened. The congressmen will tell you that, and women, they will tell you that. And did not lose a single Republican incumbent in Congress. Think of that. For the first time, congressmen, we never think of that. This was in decades and decades. We didn't lose one seat. You know why? I hate to say it. Because of me. It's because of me. And despite the pandemic, 56%, this was a record, of Americans, this is during the pandemic, believe that they were better off in 2020 than they were in 2016 when I assumed office.
Sure.
56% is a record. And we had a pandemic going. A majority of Americans, 55%, want audits of the votes. They want audits.
Do they? Do they even know what it means?
The forensic audits. They don't want the They don't want the bullshit audits. And 88% of the American
Now there's a siren.
of our great people are demanding voter ID.
If it downpoured right now, it would just be the best.
Someone who has fought harder than anyone else in Congress to expose the election fraud. He is really a fighter. And to defend the integrity of our elections. And I have to say it, I just can't imagine him losing. He's got courage. He's an honest guy. He's an honest guy. And that gives him the courage. Your next U.S. Senator from Alabama, Mo Brooks. Thank you. Now, I know Mo spoke, but come up and say just a quick word, Mo. He's doing very poorly in the polls. He's only up at about 90%. Come on, Mo.
Thank you, Mr. President, and future President of the United States of America.
Oh, dear.
I'm pleased to announce the second coming of President Donald J. Trump.
Oh, God.
Go get him, Mo. Thank you, Mo. So Mo is a fearless warrior for your sacred
The Jesus rhetoric.
vote and so many other things. He's going to be an incredible senator, and we're proud of him. And we're proud of my cherished, your cherished, but my cherished Alabama. I feel like, I don't know, the relationship has been so strong. Right at the beginning, you know, before I knew anything, I just knew we had a thing called common sense together. Thank you. Thank you.
Quite a crowd, huh?
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. I love you, too. But it is true, you know, early on, I said, how are we doing in Alabama? Sir, you're up about 45 points. This was before I knew any. I didn't
How
know
many times will he tell this story?
points. That sounds good. We're up at numbers that nobody's ever seen before. We've never gone down. Now we're up higher than we ever were. And you also have somebody that is unbelievable, unbelievable. He happens to be now a senator. He was an unbelievable football coach, Tommy Tuberville. Tommy, stand up, Tommy. Where's Tommy? Where's Tommy? I love Tommy. Where the hell is he? Where is he? He's here. A hell of a crowd. I want to tell you, this crowd goes so far back. See the cameras? We shouldn't give that to the media. Because all they do is they block the view and they don't say the truth anyway. This crowd, see what this is, goes hundreds of yards behind those cameras. Look at that. Man. Tommy is, I'd love to see Tommy. I love Tommy. He's doing a great job. I said, you know, Tommy, you're running for Senate, and he did a good job. He was a natural. And he was a rah-rah coach, but he was a great coach. I asked Urban Myers, how good a coach was Tommy Tuberville? He said, he beat me twice. He's the only one that beat me twice. But I said, Tommy, you beat Alabama 6 times. I said, how can you possibly expect the people of Alabama to vote for you? He said, sir, because I gave them a coach named Saban. Because of me. I said, Tommy, that's the coolest answer I've ever heard. And you voted him in, and he's been a great senator. He's been phenomenal. Thank you very much. Thank you, Tommy. Thank you very much. Credible guy. Credible guy. And he's got that look of a senator, doesn't he?
Right.
Not that looks matter. I always say looks don't matter. You know, nowadays, looks don't matter. But he's still got the look of a senator. He's doing a great job. Lieutenant Governor Will Ainsworth. Will? Thank you, Will. Great job. Nice meeting you backstage. Alabama Attorney General Steve Marshall. Steve? Thank you, Steve. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Representatives Jerry Carl, Barry Moore, Gary Palmer, Robert. Where's Robert? Robert Aderholt. He's been another one.
All right, let's take some calls now if people want while this continues, and we'll keep an eye out on the rain. I mean, it's like, what he's saying is just nonsense. It's the normal nonsense. So I promise to take a few calls. Let me take them now via Discord at davidpakman.com/Discord in the waiting lobby. I'll give a few minutes for people to jump in there, and then we'll keep an eye on this as well.
She's great. She is great. She's a warrior. She's a warrior. Everything I said about Georgia is true, Marjorie, right? Yeah. A great gentleman, Chief Justice of Alabama Supreme Court, Tom Parker. Tom, thank you very much. Thank you, Tom. A lot of power.
All right, let's hear from a couple people. Let's check in with, for example, Denver from Seattle. Everybody get right to your points, please, because we are in the middle of a rally. Denver, what's going on?
Hey, David, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hey, thanks. Love the show. Good to talk to you. I was just wondering, quick question. Do you know when the latest possible time that Trump would need to officially announce that he's running instead of doing these little teases are, as far as from the standpoint of campaign finance law?
Oh, he could wait a very, very long time. There's no rush at all. I mean, at least a year after 2022, I would guess.
Okay, that's pretty much all I have for you.
All right. Thanks, Denver. There's Denver from Seattle. We're standing by for rain and different things here with Trump. Trump's still going and going. I don't know. How about Preston from Maryland? What's going on?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to get on. I was just watching your stream. I just wanted to say that the Patton, that video clip from Patton, that was really creepy.
It was bizarre. It was really reminiscent of just like very standard pro-war propaganda type stuff.
Yeah, like it was like first grade, like very basic stuff.
It's insane that it works on folks. I mean, it's wild. It's really wild.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you very much. People are getting right to their points. I'm taken aback by it because it's so rare. Let's try Trey from Missouri. You're on the air.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
So my question was more about sort of the coming of the progressive movement post Ohio primary.
Yeah.
I think that one of the issues the progressive movement has is that, well, we want to push for all these policies. We have a hard time sort of taking wins when we can get them and building on those wins. We kind of try to shoot for the stars. And when we don't get them, sometimes, we're very quick to blame others instead of maybe looking within. Is that something that you see? And if you do see that, is that a possibility? Can that hold back the progressive movement from actually achieving not only legislative victories, but ultimately electoral victories as well?
That might apply in some cases. I mean, for me, the Nina Turner thing was just if you look on Twitter and Reddit, it seems like there's way more enthusiasm for her than there really is. And more people are sort of right now in the Democratic Party. There's a lot of people that are sort of in the Bidenism type camp. That's what it meant to me. It wasn't about shooting for the stars and falling short, but that could be the case in some races.
All right. I just had that question because it just seems like progressives are very much, it's either we win or we don't. And there's kind of no, we can build on this, but anyway, thanks for taking the call, man.
My pleasure. Great to hear from you. For people who were wondering, Donald Trump has been speaking about 75 minutes already. We're just taking a few calls in the meantime because it's gotten really bad. Let's just see what he's talking about.
Tariffs. We never took in 10 cents from China.
So he's back on Chinese tariffs, which he misunderstands. Let's go next to Chase from Florida. You're on the air.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
It's nice to meet you, David.
Pleasure.
Long-time listener, first-time caller. One of the questions that I've been kind of thinking about, I was listening to the Majority Report, and they had someone on there that was talking about how it's like the end of being able to like work with Republicans, like how when the pandemic hit, like it wasn't a matter of okay, we can recognize the pandemic is a problem. How do we solve it? It's like the question of, is the pandemic even a problem? And
Right.
that's like a huge split. So how do you think we go from this? Is there a way to like bring people back to the common ground, or is this just kind of the end of maybe like the end of history? I don't know.
Listen, it's not the end. I think we will only know the end of history after the fact, and we may not be here to actually know it. So that's complicated. But no, I don't know how we get out of it. It certainly could be this bad for a while, because this is, I mean, as I said before, there isn't even agreement anymore as to what is a fact, not what the facts are, but what count as facts. And I have no clue how we get back from it. It's crazy. I mean, just looking at this crowd in Alabama, it's just unbelievable.
Yeah, true. Well, thanks for taking my call.
My pleasure. Thank you. Appreciate people getting right to their questions today. Let's go to Alex from Los Angeles next.
Hey, David, can you hear me?
I can hear you fine.
All right, awesome. So my question is, I'm wondering your thoughts on, I feel like I've seen a lot of people on the left. I have friends like this. I think somebody like Joe Rogan and somebody like Bill Maher would fall in this category, where they become so anti-woke that it becomes basically their main talking point. They're constantly talking about the problems with wokeism, and they perceive it to be this really big kind of issue. I'd say Sam Harris kind of has a similar kind of take on this. And they basically, I think, get sucked into a lot of right-wing talking points. And
Yes.
I feel like it is almost a pipeline from the left to the right. And I don't know, I just want to see your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I haven't watched much of any of the three of them, but the mechanism you're talking about rings true. For a while, the whole intellectual dark web, it was all about like, this is a group, we're about free speech, and there's people on the left and there's people on the right. But it was effectively a pipeline to the right in practice. It doesn't mean there weren't leftists there, like Brett Weinstein or, whatever else. But yeah, I mean, it became a de facto pipeline. That mechanism exists.
Yeah. Do you feel like it's, hurting the left on a big scale, or do you see it as not being
No, I
big of
don't.
an issue?
I don't think so. In the same way that the online world made it seem during the primary like Bernie was more popular in the Democratic Party than he was, I think the same thing applies with this online stuff on anti-woke and so on, where it seems bigger than it really is for just the average Americans.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you for answering my question.
My pleasure. Thank you for the call. Very good calls today. Let's listen back into the rally.
If you took a barrel of oil, they gave you $37. I told my people, why didn't you do that?
It's still very, very dumb. Let's hear from a few more people. I promise to do it, and when I promise to do it, I do it. Let's check in with Ryan from Newfoundland. Ryan from Newfoundland, you're on the air. Oh, no. Is this our first drop? Oh, I disconnected it at the very last second. All right, let's try Ryan from Portsmouth instead. We'll keep going with Ryan.
Hey, David, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
Good. I had a completely unrelated question to all of this. It's actually about education. I'm a math professor. What are your impressions on recent high school graduates getting ready for the workforce or entering college, given the last year with COVID, distance learning, virtual learning, etc.?
I have no special knowledge of that. That would really be a question for people like you who have been in the schools. I mean, I think, anecdotally, we hear it's been really tough. We hear not just from right wingers that it would certainly be better to be back on a full in-person schedule, aside from whether it makes sense from the standpoint of the pandemic. But it seems to me that it's a challenge, and virtual learning is not the best for a lot of people, but I don't have any special insight.
Okay, I think like one of my big issues is the possibility that students or other people are not going to have like the social skills they get in that last year of high school.
Yeah.
They're going to have trouble with, just in general, with like interviews, going to have trouble with a lot of different things. So I just wondering, if you had any opinions on that.
I would assume that you're right. That sounds very plausible to me.
All right. Thanks a bunch.
My pleasure. Great to hear from you. Let's listen into the rally a little bit.
Biggest tax increase in history if they're allowed to do what they are trying to do. Allow the government to try taxing America drivers by the mile. They want to tax you by the mile and grant a...
So still ranting in a way that is not very sensible. Let's go to Julie from Burlingame, California next. Julie, you're on the air in California. And Julie, if you unmute, we would be able to speak to you. All right. No, Julie, that's too bad. Let's try Chris from Maine. Chris, you're on the air. Chris from Maine, you're on the air.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Sorry, I had push to talk on and I didn't realize that. So, if there was an actual mechanism, which there isn't, what do you think the closest thing would be coming for Trump to become president, even though there's not a real mechanism?
You mean to be reinstated?
Yeah.
There's I can't think of, there just isn't. There's no mechanism. It would be for him to run and win in 2024. That's it.
Okay. And one more thing. I'm happy to hear that your girlfriend is positive from the standpoint of negative for COVID.
Exactly. Things came out very positively on COVID tests from the standpoint of negative. I appreciate that.
Yep, thank you.
Okay, very good. So a lot going on, as people can tell, as we are standing by maybe for rain. I'm told it really could be any second. But there may be no rain at all. Let's go to Jamie from Texas. Jamie, you're on the air.
Hello, David.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I had a question on just Republicans missing the point on pop culture. Like, there was a rally where they were playing Green Day.
Yep.
I keep seeing bumper stickers where it's the thin blue line over a Punisher skull, and it's like these things just don't mix, and I was wondering why they keep popping up on the right, and if they're like missing the point, or if they're doing this to own the libs.
I just think they don't. You're saying because they're using all sorts of things that are sort of like not really right-wing things.
Yeah, because like the Punisher operates outside of the law in the comics, and yet they're using it to symbolize strength in law enforcement. Green Day is a punk band, but they're playing it at Trump rallies.
Yeah, they're also all left-wing, you know? The guys from Green Day, I mean.
Yes, also, like...
I think they're just dumb. That's it. I don't think there's much else to it. They just have no idea what these things represent.
They just legitimately miss the point and don't understand what these lyrics or people symbolize.
It's like Reagan using Springsteen's Born in the USA when it was an anti-war song and was about everything Reagan was not for.
Okay, thank you. That's everything from me.
All right. Thanks very much. I'm told the rain is starting. Let's tune in.
Stick together. They don't have Mitt Romney and these guys that go off on their own. They don't have people like that. Little Ben Sass, he's a nothing. They don't have people like this.
All right, let's focus in here and take a break from the calls as the rain seems to be getting going.
For trying to destroy our country. With a Republican Congress, we will fight for more jobs for American families, fair trade for American workers, and we've done more on trade deals than any other administration in the history of our country, including the China deal, which I don't even talk about anymore because of COVID, but the China deal has made our farmers rich. Our farmers and manufacturers have never done better. And more American factories forging more products stamped with that very beautiful phrase, made in the USA.
Oh, is he rushing to the conclusion because of the rain?
So in conclusion, our movement is up against some of the most sinister forces and entrenched interests that anyone can even imagine. But no matter how big our way of life, no matter how big our country or how powerful they may seem, You must never forget this nation does not belong to them. This nation belongs to you.
Okay.
This is your home. This is your heritage. And our magnificent American liberty is your God-given.
Hey guys, how great is this super chat? David, so glad you're back. Very powerful stream today. Laughed out loud multiple times. Hope you're able to apply this $5 to a $3 million property. Yeah, I will do it via a trust, of course.
Corrupt tyrants, left-wing bullies or socialists, bureaucrats in Washington, D.C., a place that I got to know very, very well. We are descended from the heroes and the patriots, the pioneers and the legends who tamed the great wilderness, who settled this vast continent, and who laid down the railroads, raised up the skyscrapers, and poured out their blood, sweat, and tears to build this country into the greatest nation in the history of the world, and we are not going to let it be taken away from us under any circumstances. Our ancestors crushed fascism. Beneath the weight of American tanks, they toppled communism by the strength of American culture, and now we will defeat woke radicalism and a continuation of communism, because that's what this is heading for. We will defeat it with the sheer power.
Real historical scholar.
Pride and American brain. Our leaders may not believe in the destiny of America. They may not believe in the destiny of America. I really don't believe in many ways they love our country. But we do, and we are not going to let anybody take that love away. We know that there is no mountain we cannot climb. There is no summit we cannot reach. And there is no challenge we cannot meet. We are Americans, and the future belongs to us. We are going to have a great future. We are going to turn this mess around. This is a horrible thing that's happening to our country. We're laughed at all over the world. We're not going to be laughed at anymore.
They're laughing at the rally, actually.
Horrible thing, and it's going to go on for a while, but we've got to end it. We cannot let this happen. They're destroying our country. We will not bend. We will not break. We will not yield. We will never give in. We will never give up. We will never back down. We will never, ever surrender.
Right.
My fellow Americans, our movement is far from over. In fact, our fight has only just begun. In the history of our country, there has never been a movement like this. There's never been anything like it.
That's true. That's true.
People run for the Senate. They do okay. They lose. They win a couple of votes, and they're national heroes for 50 years. They're on television talking. People run for president, and they come in second, third, or fourth in one primary, and they're national heroes all of a sudden. We, not me, we ran for president, and we won 32 states, and then we did better the second time, much better the second time. Much better. Somebody from the
Congratulations,
fake news
sir,
media
you
said,
just won the
what
election."
was the difference between 2016 and 2020?
Well, you lost.
Well, the difference was that in 2020, we did much, much better. The rallies were bigger. The enthusiasm was more, because in 2016, I told you what we were going to do, but it was talk. In 2020, you knew that I did it. So we had a much better, but we were cheated, and it was rigged. We were cheated. But there's never been a movement like this. And you know, it's funny, I say it a lot. And with the fake news, look at all of them back there. The fake news is back there. They never, ever question it.
There's barely any media there. That's the funny thing. It's like mostly right-wing media, actually.
But I say this is the greatest rally in the history of our country. This is the greatest movement in the history
Greatest
of our
rally?
country.
This rally?
There's never been anything like it. And it's probably the greatest movement in the history of our world. It's probably this movement. Call it Make America Great Again. Call it America First. Call it what you will. I believe it's the greatest movement probably in the history of the world. And it's just starting. It's just starting. We are one movement, one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. So with love of our nation swelling in our hearts, and it does swell in your hearts. That's why you're standing here in the rain listening to this person. You're saying, darling, it's raining. Let's go home. But nobody is leaving all the way back. Hundreds and like football fields behind.
People have actually been heading out for an hour.
Darling, it's raining. But they say we're not going home because we love our country. But it's swelling in our hearts. The spirit of America is stirring our souls. And I say these words to you, and you've heard these words before.
Oh, no.
In some cases, many times before. We will make America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again.
Yeah.
We will make America strong again. We will make America, despite what you're seeing today, so sad and so pathetic, we will make America proud again.
He's still going, yeah.
America safe again. And you know what it is. We will make America great again. Thank you, Alabama. God bless you all. Thank you. Thank you very much.
And then they did dumps. They call them dumps, big, massive dumps.
What a day.
In Michigan and Pennsylvania.
All right, anyway.
This country for an election integrity and for you and I.
So there it is. It's all very, very stupid. It's just incredibly dumb. But Trump is doing it, and the crowd seems to sort of be loving it, except when they are bored. I appreciate not only everybody who joined the stream today, but we set a record, at least for the last 6 months, but the Capitol riots, the election night, etc. We were doing numbers up here that are crazy in the 400s, but we haven't seen anything like this for a very long time. And I want to say thank you to Justin Pecci, who just signed up on my website and is new member number 270. How poetic. That is the exact number of electoral votes that a presidential candidate needs to become president. It's a number that Donald Trump failed to get. But it is extraordinarily, extraordinarily exciting. So take advantage of that coupon code. That code is 16 for 16. We've done it all. Let's raid. Who are we going to raid? Oh, I don't know. You know what? Just because of the controversy, let's go and raid Hassan over on Twitch. It's been a pleasure being with all of you today. We did our calls. We did everything. We really did everything. And we're going to go over to Hassan, and maybe I'll send him a couple bucks for the mortgage as well myself. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. We'll see everybody very, very soon.